Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Hokage, Nine-Faced Beast, Kill Through the Ninja World. Chapter 41. After the victory in the war against Sand Shinobi, Hokage Sakumo granted Li Feng leave to return to the village. Along with Li Feng, there were Kui and others who participated in the interception and supply team. Although Sand Shinobi has now been defeated, Konoha cannot relax its vigilance. Hokage Sakumo continues to stay in the camp with a large force. Just when Li Feng and others were about to leave, 3 Sand Shinobi came outside the Konoha camp and happened to bump into Li Feng and others. Li Feng instantly put his hand on the hilt of the Kusanagi sword. Kui and others also instantly picked up their weapons and prepared for battle. The person at the back of the team turned around and prepared to call for an enemy attack. Among the 3 people who came, there were 2 acquaintances. Ebizo and Yi Kang, the other Li Feng did not know. Uchiha Li Feng, we have no hostility, we have surrendered. Ebizo spread his hands to show that he had no hostility. What are you doing here? Li Feng still didn't let down his guard. Sand Shinobi has been defeated. Lord Hokage sent me to sign an armistice agreement with Konoha. Ebizo's arms drooped and his voice was a little hoarse. Sign an agreement. Li Feng's hand left the handle of the knife, and at the same time he waved his hand to signal the people behind him to put down their weapons. Kui and others have regarded Li Feng as their backbone, and they all relaxed a little when they saw Li Feng waving his hands. Come with me, you two wait here first. Li Feng asked Ebizo to follow him, while Yi Kang and another person stayed here to wait for news. The moment he turned his head, Li Feng saw deep resentment towards him in Yi Kang's eyes. Li Feng couldn't help but chuckle. Yi Kang's appearance made him look like a scumbag. Yi Kang looked at Li Feng and Ebizo leaving with a cold snort and closed her eyes. She was not willing to sign the armistice agreement with Ebizo at all. But Third Hokage didn't know what happened and insisted on letting her come with Ebizo. But compared to Li Feng, Yi Kang still hates Luo Sha more. He indiscriminately said that he was a collaborator with the enemy, and Yi Kang also saw that Luo Sha was targeting him because of his so-called friendship with Uchiha Li Feng. He took out his anger on Uchiha Li Feng when he couldn't beat her. Now Yi Kang completely looks down on Luo Sha, the owner of the magnet-style blood succession limit. At the command camp, Li Feng brought Ebizo here. Teacher Shuamao. Li Feng walked into the command camp and called Hokage Shuamao. Li Feng, why are you back? Hokage Sakumo raised his head and saw Ebizo behind Li Feng. However, Hokage Sakumo didn't react at all. He probably already knew why Ebizo appeared here. Ebizo-senpai, are you here to sign an armistice agreement? Hokage Sakumo revealed Ebizo's purpose in one word. Haha, Sir White Fang, your seniority really frustrates me. Ebizo smiled bitterly, and then continued. Your Excellency White Fang, you were right, Lord Hokage has decided to cease the war and sent me as Sand Shinobi representatives came to negotiate peace with Konoha. Of course peace talks are not something I can decide. Senior Ebizo should leave for Konoha and talk to Lord Hokage directly. There happens to be a group of people returning to the village in the camp. Ebizo-senpai should follow them to Konoha. Okay, thank you, Mr. White Fang. As the defeated party, Ebizo tried to keep his posture as low as possible. Li Feng, take Ebizo-senpai back to Konoha. Hokage Sakumo said to Li Feng again. Okay, Teacher Sakumo, pay more attention to rest. Later, Li Feng and Ebizo returned to the camp. Let's go Kui and go back to the village. Li Feng straightened the backpack on his back. What was inside was Moon Wolf's forehead protector and knife, as well as the scroll that stored Moon Wolf's body. Along the way, Kui and others glanced at Ebizo and the others from time to time. Although they knew that Ebizo came to sign the armistice agreement on behalf of Sand Shinobi, they were still wary of Ebizo and the others. This was a habit developed after fighting for so long. Your Excellency Li Feng is really young and promising. He awakened the legendary Mangekyo Sharingan at a young age and regarded Jonin as a fool. It would be great if our Sunagaker could produce a young genius like Mr. Li Feng. Not sure what Ebizo was thinking, he started talking to Li Feng. Haha, Senior Ebizo is so ridiculous. I'm just a genin. Li Feng sneered secretly. Although he didn't know what Ebizo's purpose was, he knew that Ebizo would never simply praise him. Your Excellency Li Feng is too humble. Even Uchiha Madara, the ancestor of the Uchiha clan, is said to have only awakened Mangekyo Sharingan in his 20s. And Mr. Li Feng has reached the height of Uchiha Madara when he was only a teenager. I believe that in the near future, Mr. Li Feng will definitely surpass Uchiha Madara. If you let Uchiha Madara hear this, you will probably shoot us both to death on the spot. Ebizo-senpai, please don't praise me. Uchiha Madara is the same as first Hokage-sama, how can I compare to him? Li Feng continued to be polite to Ebizo. He wanted to see what kind of medicine Ebizo was selling in the gourd. Your Excellency Li Feng, this Mangekyo Sharingan, I heard that it has other abilities besides the powerful ability of Susanoo, right? Ebizo finally revealed his fox tail. His purpose is probably to understand the ability of Li Feng's eyes. But how could Li Feng be fooled? He's not the kind of idiot who doesn't know his last name even after being praised a few times. Mangekyo. Li Feng was about to speak, but was interrupted by Kui on the other side. Li Feng. Why are you telling him this? Ebizo secretly gave Kui a vicious look. Where did this stupid guy come from? He dared to ruin his own good deeds. Mangekyo Sharingan only has the ability of Susanoo, and everyone's Susanoo has a different color. Li Feng immediately started telling lies with his eyes open. Ebizo couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth when he heard this. What about the liar? Do you really think I know nothing about Mangekyo Sharingan? There are not many people who actually know the existence of Mangekyo Sharingan, and Ebizo is one of them. When he was young, he saw the terrifying Uchiha Madara with his own eyes. Uchiha Madara's blue Susanoo, Ebizo was also lucky enough to see it once. Although he has never seen Uchiha Madara and Li Feng use other powers, Ebizo firmly believes that there cannot be one Mangekyo Sharingan among these 100 people, and it is absolutely impossible to have only Susanoo's ability. Is that so? Ha ha ha, I thought Mangekyo Sharingan had many powerful abilities. Mangekyo Sharingan does not have any other abilities, but Susanoo alone can kill many people. The corners of Li Feng's lips raised slightly. A trace of displeasure and anger flashed across Ebizo's eyes. Of course he knew that Li Feng was talking about Sand Shinobi who died in his hands. Since Susanoo is so strong, the conditions for awakening must be very harsh, right? Of course it's harsh, otherwise why would no one wake up for so long? Oh, is there a price to pay for the conditions for awakening? Ebizo guessed. Yes. Li Feng nodded, and Kui's face turned completely dark. No, bro, are you really talking about it? Ebizo secretly smiled. As long as he could figure out Mangekyo Sharingan's awakening method, he might be able to formulate some measures against Li Feng. However, Ebizo did not continue to ask. This process must be done step by step and cannot be rushed. After traveling for several hours, Li Feng took Ebizo and others back to Konoha. As soon as the ninja guarding the gate saw Ebizo and others wearing the Sand Shinobi forehead protector, they immediately took out their weapons and prepared to sound the alarm. Kui Jonin, this is. But after taking a closer look and seeing Kui again, the gatekeeper ninja fell into confusion. As a Jonin, Kui has a lot of people who know him, and the gatekeeper ninja happens to know him. This is Sunagaku's representative here to negotiate. Kui explained to the gatekeeper ninja. Sorry, Kui Jonin, we need to report this to Hokage-sama, please wait here. Although he saw Kui, the gatekeeper ninja was still worried and went to report to Sarutobi Hiruzen according to the rules. Not long after, the gatekeeper ninja returned to the gate. Kui Jonin, you can take the Sand Shinobi representative to see Lord Hokage. After being released by the gatekeeper ninja, Li Feng and others entered Konoha village. Konoha village is so prosperous. Ebizo couldn't help but sigh as he walked on the streets of Konoha. Hayakura and the other Sand Shinobi were also attracted by the prosperity of Konoha. Compared to here, Sunagaku is simply a remote place. Your Excellency Li Feng, the price for your awakening of Mangekyo Sharingan must be heavy, right? Ebizo's eyes shifted from the shops on the street to Li Feng. Kui stood next to Li Feng and clenched his fists. He really wanted to punch this old guy to death. Mangekyo Sharingan, who keeps asking Li Feng, doesn't have any old face at all, right? What's the key? Li Feng really said it. No, Li Feng's eyes flashed with displeasure, but these two words came out of his mouth. Ebizo's words reminded him of Moonwolf's scarred body. No, Ebizo was stunned. Kui was stunned for a moment, but he knew that Li Feng awakened Mangekyo Sharingan, wasn't it because Captain Moonwolf blocked a fatal blow for him? Li Feng was very sad after seeing Moon Wolf's body, and if this was nothing to Li Feng, then how could Li Feng awaken Mangekyo? I looked up at the moon. The moon saw my talent as penultimate and gave me Mangekyo. Ebizo. Kui was laughing crazily on the side. He thought Li Feng had something wrong with his brain. He just answered whatever Ebizo asked. It turned out that he was playing tricks on this old guy. PFF'd. After hearing this, Yi Kang couldn't help laughing. This liar is quite interesting. Ebizo also knew that Li Feng was playing tricks on himself. But now that he was on someone else's territory, and he was still the representative of the losing side, what else could he say? Ebizo did not continue to ask. If he continued to ask, this brat would keep playing tricks on him. You all go home. Kui and I will go see Master Hokage. Li Feng stopped and said to the Konoha shinobi followers following him. Okay. Everyone immediately dispersed in all directions. After such a long period of torture on the battlefield, they had long missed their families. Kui, please wait until you meet Master Hokage with me before you go home and rest. Li Feng said to Kui apologetically. When reporting the results of the war to Sarutobi Hiruzen, he will definitely not completely believe Li Feng's words. After all, no matter how talented Li Feng is, he is only a genin at the moment, and he is still a child. With Kui, a veteran jonin, reporting on the situation will be much easier. It's okay, I'm not in a hurry. Kui smiled and spread his hands. He is also an orphan and is not married yet. He is not as anxious to go home and reunite with his family as others. Uchiha Li Feng, envoy of Sand Shinobi, Lord Hokage has been waiting for you for a long time. At the entrance of the Hokage building, an Anbu stood there waiting for Li Feng and others. Li Feng nodded towards Anbu and led everyone upstairs to Hokage's office. Knock knock knock. Enter. As Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice came from the office, Li Feng opened the door and walked in, followed closely by Kui, Ebizo and others. You're back, Li Feng. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled immediately when he saw Li Feng. Lord Hokage. Li Feng and Kui saluted Sarutobi Hiruzen. No need to be polite, Li Feng, I have heard about your superior performance on the battlefield. Sarutobi Hiruzen held the pipe, looked at Li Feng and smiled. It's all for Konoha. Well said. Sarutobi Hiruzen's smile became even brighter. As long as Li Feng's heart is in Konoha, he doesn't have to worry too much. Is this the envoy sent by Sand Shinobi? Sarutobi Hiruzen turned his attention to Ebizo again. See Hokage-sama, my excellency Tsunagoku Ebizo. Messenger Sand Shinobi, there is no need to be polite. You have just arrived at Konoha village today, so you should have a good night's rest first. We will discuss the armistice in detail tomorrow. Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up, walked around the desk and walked in front of everyone. Li Feng, please arrange for the Sand Shinobi messenger for me. Sarutobi Hiruzen took out some money and handed it to Li Feng. Okay. Although he didn't know why Sarutobi Hiruzen asked him to arrange it, Li Feng still took the money. Thank you, Hokage-sama, for taking care of me. Ebizo bowed slightly to Sarutobi Hiruzen. After all, you are the envoys of Sand Shinobi. Of course we in Konoha must treat each other with courtesy. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled kindly, as if he were one of his own, but then his expression changed and he said again, but since you are here Konoha, you must abide by Konoha's rules. If you violate Konoha's rules, don't blame me for being merciless. Sarutobi Hiruzen narrowed his eyes, secretly revealing part of his aura. Please rest assured, Hokage-sama, we will definitely abide by ourselves and not cause trouble to Hokage-sama. A drop of cold sweat flowed from Ebizo's forehead. As expected of the third Hokage, who is known as Nushiro, the pressure on him is far greater than that of the third Kazekage. Haha, relax, Li Feng, take Sand Shinobi messenger to rest. By the way, Li Feng, arrange for the envoy to meet me later. After saying this, Sarutobi Hiruzen turned around and walked to the window, picked up his pipe and started smoking. Treat the envoys with both soft and hard tactics, not only to shock the other party, but also to let the other party feel the demeanor of Konoha's great power. Everyone, come with me. Li Feng collected the money that Sarutobi Hiruzen gave him and left with Ebizo and others. Master Hokage, if nothing happens, I will leave first. Seeing that Li Feng had left, Kui was about to leave. Kui, wait. Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped Kui. Lord Hokage, is there anything else? Kui had already taken half a step, but now he took it back and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen, waiting for him to speak. Come here, I want to ask you something. Kui, who didn't know why, walked lightly to the window and stood respectfully behind Sarutobi Hiruzen. Kui, do you know how Li Fang's Mangekyo Sharingan awakened? Sarutobi Hiruzen slowly exhaled a puff of smoke and turned slightly to look at Kui. Kui's heart suddenly skipped a beat when he heard Sarutobi Hiruzen's question. The Uchiha clan was at odds with Konoha as a whole, and he had heard a little bit about it. Could it be that Li Fang awakened Mangekyo Sharingan, and Lord Hokage was afraid of him and wanted to get rid of him? Of course, Sarutobi Hiruzen also noticed Kui's reaction. Having read countless people, he probably guessed what Kui was thinking, and he suddenly felt dumbfounded. The conditions for the awakening of Mangekyo Sharingan are very harsh. It is said that Uchiha Madara only awakened Mangekyo Sharingan after witnessing the death of his father. My classmate Uchiha Kagami also awakened his Mangekyo after seeing his family members die in front of him. So I'm curious about how Li Fang awakened. Hearing what Sarutobi Hiruzen said, Kui was relieved. It seems that you have a good relationship with Li Fang. Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little curious as to why Kui had such a reaction. Actually, no, but Li Fang is very easy to get along with. Kui said, recalling the time he spent with Li Fang on the Sand Shinobi battlefield. Li Fang is not as arrogant as the Uchiha people I have interacted with before. Moreover, he cares about his companions and has a strong sense of responsibility. When we went to cut off Sand Shinobi's supplies, the gap in numbers was too big. We tried our best to destroy the supplies, and we no longer had the ability to resist the Sand Shinobi's pursuit. It was Li Fang who chose to end his life without hesitation, so that we people could come back alive. Listening to Kui's story, Sarutobi Hiruzen became more and more satisfied with Li Fang. Even he wanted to thank Uchiha for expelling Li Fang. Otherwise, Li Fang would probably become as annoying as those Uchiha people if he stayed in a place like Uchiha. So Li Fang had already awakened Mangekyo at that time. Since he was able to cover the retreat of Kui and others and come back alive, Li Fang must have awakened Mangekyo at that time. Only with the powerful pupil technique of Mangekyo and the third power Susanoo, Li Fang can achieve this level. Yes, Li Fang awakened Mangekyo during that war. Kui nodded heavily. He was also heartbroken by Moon Wolf's death. I don't know much about the specific situation at that time. I only know that Captain Yulang blocked a fatal blow for Li Fang, causing him to be seriously injured. Then Li Fang awakened Mangekyo and killed all the Sand Shinobi Jonin present. It turns out it was because of Moon Wolf's death. Sarutobi Hiruzen sat on the chair and frowned. The news of the death of Captain Yulang in the Anbu squadron had been sent back by Hitaki Tsukumo a long time ago, but the information sent back was only the death list, and there was no mention of the news that Yulang died for Li Fang. Then after Li Fang awakened Mangekyo, did he become strange? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked another question that worried him, for example, became irritable, or had a gloomy feeling. No, but after the death of Captain Moon Wolf, I often saw Li Fang practicing like crazy. The amount of practice shocked me. Kui often accidentally saw Li Fang practicing crazily in the open space all day and night, as if he was tireless. Is that so? I understand, you go down first. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, picked up the pipe and took a puff of smoke. Then Sir Hokage, I will take my leave first. Kui bowed to Sarutobi Hiruzen and left the Hokage office. This kid Li Fang. Sarutobi Hiruzen fell into deep thought. He originally thought that Li Fang would become more extreme after awakening Mangekyo. But he didn't expect that Li Fang's behavior after awakening Mangekyo turned out to be crazy cultivation. As long as you become strong enough, can you protect the people you value? Sarutobi Hiruzen put down his pipe and walked to the window again. If Li Fang can become the leader of the Uchiha clan in the future, will Uchiha change? Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly had such an idea in his mind. But then he smiled bitterly and shook his head, thinking too much. How could those guys in Uchiha accept someone with half Senju blood as their clan leader? Besides, Li Fang should also be disgusted with Uchiha. Squeak. At this time, the office door was pushed open directly. Danzo, you didn't knock on the door. Without looking back, Sarutobi Hiruzen already knew who opened the door. Hiruzen, do we still need to care about this? Danzo didn't pay attention to this. He and Sarutobi Hiruzen could be said to have grown up wearing the same pair of pants. You have to respect the Hokage. Okay, I'll pay attention next time. Danzo said perfunctorily. Hiruzen, Uchiha Li Feng has awakened Mangekyo. Walking to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Danzo looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with his peripheral vision and asked. Danzo, you want to catch Li Feng's attention again? Sarutobi Hiruzen snorted. Mangekyo Sharingan is too unstable, have you forgotten the power of Uchiha Madara back then? Danzo was not to be outdone and continued. Li Feng is not Uchiha Madara. Hiruzen, the Uchiha clan are all lunatics. Especially those who have awakened the Mangekyo Sharingan. If Uchiha Li Feng wants to rebel and use the Sharingan to control Nine Tails, then Konoha will be in catastrophe. Danzo shouted in a low voice. Is the mirror also a lunatic? HMPH, if it weren't for Mr. Tobarama's leadership, Kagami might have become just like those Uchiha guys. Stop talking about Jing, do you really have the nerve to mention him? Don't think I don't know why the eye sockets of Jing's body are empty. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned to look at Danzo, just because I don't say it, doesn't mean I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't understand, Danzo said without changing his expression. Okay, we have been friends for many years. I know you better than your father, so you don't have to pretend to be stupid. Sarutobi Hiruzen clasped his hands behind his back and looked out the window again. Anyway, don't worry about Li Feng. He can't get to the root. Mangekyo is very uncontrollable. Danzo still refused to give up. That's enough. Li Feng is a good boy, I feel relieved about him. Li Feng took the three Ebizo to a nice hotel in Konoha and opened 3 rooms for them. Your Excellency Li Feng, it's still early in the morning. Can you take us around Konoha? This is our first time in Konoha village. After opening the room, Ebizo said to Li Feng with a smile on his face. Li Feng was a little impatient. This old guy wouldn't want to take the opportunity to do something, would he? Sir Hokage still has something to do with me. Senior Ebizo should find someone else. Li Feng chose to refuse. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked him to arrange for Ebizo and others to go back to him, and he has not fulfilled Moonwolf's last wish. TCH, cheapskate. Yi Kang muttered, lowering his head. Li Feng's eyelids suddenly twitched. What to do? I really want to beat this stupid woman. Forget it, Mr. Li Feng should go and get busy first. Ebizo still had a smile on his face. Well, Ebizo-senpai, I suggest you stay in the hotel honestly and don't wander around at will, otherwise it will cause unnecessary misunderstandings and it will be difficult for Hokage-sama. After a slight warning, Li Feng turned and left the hotel. He was not worried that Ebizo would do anything while he was away. Sarutobi Hiruzen was not worried about Ebizo, and he must have arranged for Anbu to monitor them. So Li Feng went straight to the Hokage building and came to Sarutobi Hiruzen again. At this time, Danzo has left, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is sitting alone at his desk correcting documents. Lord Hokage, the Sand Shinobi envoy has made arrangements. Well done, Li Feng. Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped what he was doing, picked up the teapot and poured himself and Li Feng a cup of tea each. Have a drink of tea. I usually can't bear to drink this tea. Thank you, Master Hokage. Li Feng was a little flattered. Not everyone can drink Sarutobi Hiruzen's tea. Ha ha ha, you're welcome. You made so many contributions to Konoha at the Sand Shinobi battlefield. A little tea is nothing. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and picked up the teacup and took a sip. Li Feng also took a sip. He didn't usually drink tea, so he didn't taste any difference in this tea. Li Feng, I know all about your performance on the battlefield. I am very happy that you chose to stay alone for the sake of your companions. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't mention Mangekyo. After all, Li Feng awakened to Mangekyo because of Moonwolf's death. Mentioning this matter is just exposing Li Feng's scars. Lord Hokage, this is what I should do. After that break, it was also to give me the opportunity to sign a contract with the Nine-Faced Beast. Okay, Li Feng, I am very satisfied with your performance. I have decided to give you the opportunity to choose a forbidden technique from the Book of Sealings. Master Hokage, can the forbidden technique I chose be taught to others? Li Feng asked Sarutobi Hiruzen at this time. No, the forbidden technique in the sealed book is very dangerous and must not be spread at will. Sarutobi Hiruzen explicitly prohibited it. Then can I transfer this opportunity to someone else? Li Feng asked another question. Li Feng roughly knows the ninjutsu in the sealed book. Multiple shadow clone technique, impure world reincarnation, flying thunder god technique, tandem paper bombs. To be honest, these forbidden techniques are not of much help to Li Feng, so Li Feng wants Minato to take this opportunity to learn flying thunder god in advance. Transfer is not impossible. First tell me who you want to transfer to, Minato. Sarutobi Hiruzen also roughly guessed what Li Feng was thinking. Yes, Master Hokage. Li Feng nodded in confirmation. Minato, that's fine too. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that Jiraiya had signed the summoning contract of Mount Myoboku to Minato, which meant that Jiraiya had regarded Minato as his direct disciple. Li Feng transferred this opportunity to choose forbidden technique to Minato, which is actually not bad. After all, they are all his own. But Li Feng, you have to think about it. I've thought about it, Master Hokage. Li Feng said without hesitation. Li Feng's firm tone actually shocked Sarutobi Hiruzen. This was the first time he saw the opportunity to transfer learning forbidden technique. But Minato is still at the Rock Shinobi battlefield. When Minato comes back, I will tell him about this and let him choose forbidden technique. Hokage-sama, how is the battle going at Rock Shinobi? To be honest, I'm not too optimistic. Rock Shinobi has sent out 5 Tails Jinchuriki, and Jiraiya is a little overwhelmed. Sarutobi Hiruzen was feeling a little worried when his eyes suddenly lit up. Jinchuriki, Mangekyo, Li Feng, how about you take a few days off and go to the Rock Shinobi battlefield to support Jiraiya? Okay, of course Li Feng would not refuse. Speaking of which, last time Luosha was attacked from a distance with placer gold, and he hadn't had time to test the ability to absorb chakra. This time I went to the Sand Shinobi battlefield to give it a try. And he also wanted to try out what it felt like to control a tailed beast. With Li Feng joining the Rock Shinobi battlefield, Sarutobi Hiruzen instantly became much more relaxed. Currently, the biggest threat on the Rock Shinobi battlefield is the 5 Tails Jinchuriki. Jiraiya can barely resist the 5 Tails only by summoning Gamabunta. With Li Feng's Mangekyo, he can completely use 5 Tails to his own advantage, manipulating 5 Tails to attack Rock Shinobi. By the way, Hokage-sama, Ebizo wants me to take them around Konoha. What do you think I should do? Promise him that although we defeated the Sand Shinobi, we must not be aggressive and show our demeanor as a great nation. Don't worry Li Feng, they can't make any trouble in Konoha. The last time Kushina was kidnapped by Cloud Shinobi, it was indeed my negligence. I will never let this happen this time. Ebizo's actions are all under my nose. As long as he has any ideas, I can take immediate measures. Sarutobi Hiruzen had secretly sent Anbu to monitor Ebizo and Yikang after Li Feng left with Ebizo and others. Okay, I'll take them for a walk later. Well, just go shopping in a shopping street or a snack street. By the way, Li Feng, I will let you sit in on the peace talks with Ebizo tomorrow. Sarutobi Hiruzen made another impromptu decision. Master Hokage, is it inappropriate for me, a genin, to participate in such a scene? Li Feng did not expect that Sarutobi Hiruzen would let him participate in the peace talks, even though he was a spectator. What's the point? Isn't that little Sand Shinobi girl following Ebizo also genin? Besides, Li Feng, with your talent, you will definitely be a core figure in Konoha in the future. Participating in more meetings like this now will be of great help to you in the future. Then follow Hokage-sama's arrangements. Sarutobi Hiruzen has said so, Li Feng should not refuse any more. Li Feng, as the master, I would like to remind you one last thing, don't overuse Mangekyo. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but remind Li Feng. Your eyesight must have declined a lot now, right? Yes, Hokage-sama, I will pay attention. After leaving the Hokage building, Li Feng came to the hotel where Ebizo and others were staying, preparing to take them around Konoha. By the way, it also gives myself some time to prepare to face Yulang's wife. Senior Ebizo, you'd better take off the Sand Shinobi forehead protector to avoid unnecessary trouble. Li Feng pointed to the Sand Shinobi forehead protector on Ebizo's forehead and reminded. Same. Ebizo took the lead in taking off the forehead protector, followed by Yikang and the other sand shinobi. They also don't want to be walking on the road and someone throws eggs at them after discovering that they are sand shinobi. After all, many people's family members died in the war with sand shinobi. It would be a shame if they could tolerate Ebizo and others shopping in Konoha. After getting ready, Li Feng took the three of them onto the street. Yagura and the other sand shinobi were very curious about everything around them, looking around without knowing where to look. Li Feng and Ebizo are not interested. Li Feng is familiar with everything in Konoha, and although Ebizo has never seen many things, he is already old and it is difficult to be interested in new things. Besides, if he looked around like a child, it would really harm his face. It smells so good. Yikang sniffed and fixed his gaze on the street. Li Feng followed Yikang's line of sight and found that he had unknowingly led them to the vicinity of Ichiraku Ramen. Looking at the sky again, I saw that the sun was almost setting, and my stomach also made a sound of protest. Ichiraku Ramen, Ebizo murmured under his breath when he saw the sign hanging on the noodle shop. I once heard an old friend of mine say that Ichiraku Ramen in Konoha village is the most delicious noodle shop in the entire shinobi world. Ebizo put his hands behind his back and closed his eyes to lightly smell the aroma of Ichiraku Ramen. Your old friend has a good taste. Li Feng chuckled and continued. All the ninjas dare not say, after all, I have never tasted ramen from other countries, but Ichiraku Ramen is definitely the best noodle restaurant in Konoha. Quote, everyone came to Konoha with us and didn't eat anything along the way. Let me show you the deliciousness of Ichiraku Ramen. Then thank you, Mr. Li Feng, for your hospitality. Ebizo also wanted to verify whether what his old friend said was true. Yikang couldn't wait to follow her. The aroma from the noodle shop made her already empty stomach growl. Hands, uncle. Li Feng said hello to the hands in the kitchen. Li Feng is here, are these your friends? Shoda glanced at Ebizo and Yikang behind Li Feng. It's not that Handa has seen the world before. He recognized that the three people were wearing clothes from Sunagakur or the Kingdom of Wind. But Shandai was also a smart man. He knew that Lord Hokage would not allow outsiders who were a threat to the village to move freely in the village. Moreover, these three people from the Kingdom of Wind were still with Li Feng, so Shudai didn't care. Uncle Hand beat. They are envoys from Sand Shinobi, and they came to sign an armistice agreement with us. Li Feng said, sitting at the table. Oh. A smile appeared on Shandai's face, and he already understood what was going on. Sand Shinobi's envoy came to Konoha to sign an armistice agreement. What does this mean? It shows that in this war between Konoha and Sand Shinobi, Konoha won. Since we are foreign friends here for the first time, I'll treat you to this ramen. Shoda was in a very good mood, and his face was a little red. How's that, Uncle Shuda? Your ramen is large and cheap. You don't have much profit. So how can I let you treat me? Li Feng quickly refused. Ichiraku Ramen is not only delicious, but also comes with plenty of noodles and other side dishes. The most important thing is that the price is very cheap. This makes Li Feng wonder whether there is any profit to be made in a handmade noodle shop. You brat, I make more money than some of you ninjas do on missions, and you're still worried about falling for me. Shoda laughed and scolded, and then said decisively, I definitely don't need you to pay for the money today, you just eat it. Just drink enough and you'll be fine. Then, I would rather obey your orders than be respectful. Li Feng saw that Shandai's attitude was very decisive, so he stopped forcing it. Thank you for the hospitality, boss. Ebizo also expressed his gratitude to Handai, although his expression was not right. Hee, uncle, you are so kind. Yikang showed an innocent smile. The corner of Ebizo's mouth couldn't help but twitch. What is this silly girl so happy about? They obviously knew that Sand Shinobi had lost to Konoha, so they were happy to treat them to ramen. Ha ha ha, you're welcome. Just tell me what flavor you want to eat. Uncle Shuda, I want a bowl of beef ramen. Li Feng started. Please give me a barbecued pork ramen. Ebizo thought for a while and ordered a barbecued pork ramen. Bring me a bowl of beef ramen too, uncle. Miso ramen, thank you. The four of them ordered ramen and went to the kitchen to prepare it. Your Excellency Li Feng, this hand-beating boss, is quite enthusiastic. Ebizo sat across from Li Feng with some embarrassment and spoke. Of course, we Konoha people are warm and nice to talk to. Ebizo, speak nicely. I really didn't hear it. Here comes the ramen. Handa came over with 4 bowls of noodles on a tray and placed the tray on the table. Li Feng reached out to pick up the bowl of beef ramen, but he encountered a cold hand. Li Feng retracted his hand as if he was electrocuted, and Yi Kang also retracted his hand instantly, his cheeks suddenly turning red. Take this bowl, Li Feng said to Yi Kang sitting next to him. After Yi Kang glared at Li Feng fiercely, he took the bowl of beef ramen, and Li Feng took another bowl. Liar, Yi Kang muttered, picked up a piece of beef, threw it into his mouth and chewed hard. As if that piece of beef was Li Feng. If it weren't for the only seat next to Li Feng, she wouldn't want to sit with this liar. I said, why are you so malicious to me? Li Feng said speechlessly. Do you need me to tell you what you did? Yi Kang recalled the scene at that time. It was the first time he experienced the feeling of being deceived. As a thank you and apology, I have spared your life. Isn't that enough? Li Feng had a headache. Should he have chopped Yi Kang in with a knife at that time? Yi Kang ate the noodles for a moment. When he thought about it, it was true that Uchiha Li Feng was fully capable of killing them all at that time, but he did not pursue them. But when he recalled that he was slandered by Luo Sha as a collaborator, Yi Kang felt that the noodles in his bowl no longer tasted good. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be slandered as a collaborator. Collaboration. Li Feng didn't know why, he didn't understand what Yi Kang said. Ahem, let me explain. Ebizo coughed twice and interjected. Then Li Feng turned his doubtful eyes to Ebizo. That's right, because at that time, Yi Kang was ordered to take care of you who was disguised as Sand Shinobi. Later, one of our Sunagaku juniors didn't know the specific situation and suspected that Yi Kang was collaborating with the enemy. At that time, the junior came to me directly and demanded a strict investigation of Yi Kang. This girl indeed suffered a lot of grievances from Yi Kang. But I have explained it clearly after understanding the situation. Ebizo briefly told Li Feng about this incident. That's it. Only then did Li Feng realize what slander and collaboration with the enemy Yi Kang was talking about. Sand Shinobi next to Ebizo was eating noodles and listening to the conversation of several people with interest. Eating melons and stuff is my favorite. Who is slandering you as a collaborator? Li Feng asked curiously. Luo Sha, Yi Kang said angrily. Oh, that trash. Luo Sha's placer gold is really good at playing, but unfortunately in Li Feng's place, Luo Sha is a waste. Then next time I meet him, I'll beat him up for you. Is that okay? Ebizo almost choked on his ramen when he listened to Li Feng's words. I'm still sitting here, and you're threatening to beat up the juniors in our village. Okay, Yi Kang's eyes lit up. Then I reluctantly forgive you. Yi Kang wanted to tear Luo Sha into pieces, but they were both from the same village, and Yi Kang felt that there was a high probability that he would not be able to defeat Luo Sha. Ahem, Ebizo was really choked now. He didn't expect Yi Kang to agree and be so excited. Yi Kang, Luo Sha is only doing it for the good of the village. Don't take it too seriously. This matter has already been resolved. Ebizo persuaded him kindly. Why is it for the good of the village? Luo Sha can't beat Uchiha Li Feng, so why is he taking his anger out on me? I am obviously so loyal to the village, but he calls me a collaborator. Yi Kang put down his chopsticks with a very unhappy tone. Ouch, Li Feng suddenly felt this. He didn't expect that the future 4th Hokage Luosha would be so small-tempered. If he couldn't beat him, he would take out his anger on his fellow villagers, and she was still a girl. Ebizo sighed. It seemed that the conflict between Yi Kang and Luo Sha was beyond his control. Yi Kang stopped talking and began to eat his noodles with an expressionless expression. She was absolutely loyal to the village. Luo Sha could say she was weak, but he could never say she was disloyal to the village. This touched her bottom line. Okay, I'll help you teach him a lesson when I get the chance. Li Feng now looked down on Luo Sha completely. If he couldn't beat him, he would work hard to get revenge. What's the point of trying to deal with others in a nest? Your Excellency Li Feng, please don't make such a joke. Ebizo said helplessly. Then let's stop talking about this and eat noodles. Li Feng closed his mouth and started to eat. A few people finished eating ramen in a silent atmosphere. By this time, it was completely dark outside. Ebizo still had no intention of going back to the hotel, so Li Feng took them to continue shopping. Ebizo stood on the street and looked up at the Hokage rock in the distance. Under the moonlight, the three Hokage rocks are lifelike, as if the first Hokage and the second Hokage are still watching Konoha. Your Excellency Li Feng, I also know something about your will of fire in Konoha. You have surpassed Jonin at a young age. Do you have any thoughts of becoming a Hokage? Hokage. Li Feng also glanced at the Hokage rock, and then withdrew his gaze. No. Why? I think Mr. Li Feng has the potential to become the fourth Hokage. Ebizo is a little strange. It is said that everyone in Konoha village has a Hokage dream in their hearts. Besides, Li Feng is extremely talented and powerful, and he can make great achievements on the battlefield in just half a month. Why doesn't he have the idea of becoming a Hokage in the future? I'm too tired, I don't want to do it. Li Feng's words left the three of them speechless. Others want to be a Hokage like crazy, but when it comes to you, you just say you're too tired and don't want to be. In most of his life, Ebizo was so speechless to someone for the first time. Your Excellency Li Feng, I think everyone has the motivation to become stronger. Since you don't want to be a Hokage, then what drives you to work hard to become stronger? Ebizo asked again. Li Feng rubbed his temples. He wondered if Ebizo's side job was being a reporter. I just want to protect the important people. Li Feng still said what was in his heart. This is nothing to hide. Are you protecting the important people? Ebizo was thinking at this time, it would be great if Li Feng was the ninja of Sand Shinobi. With people like Li Feng, he would definitely lead Sand Shinobi to glory. It's a pity, Li Feng is from Konoha after all. Protect important people. Yi Kang also fell into deep thought. She is an orphan. She grew up in an orphanage and has no particularly close friends. So she never thought about protecting important people, and she didn't know why she wanted to become stronger after becoming a ninja. But the pensive Yi Kang is a different scene in Ebizo's eyes. From Ebizo's point of view, Yi Kang's eyes are on Li Feng. Ebizo's eyes instantly brightened. I have a plan. Didn't Li Feng say that becoming stronger is to protect important people? If Yi Kang becomes the most important person in Li Feng, is it possible to kidnap Li Feng to Sand Shinobi? Ebizo knew why Third Kazekage asked Yi Kang to follow him to Konoha. The idea of Third Kazekage is that Uchiha Li Feng must have been a core figure in the Konoha camp after going through several battles. And Yi Kang had taken care of Li Feng. If he took Yi Kang to sign the armistice agreement, at least it would be easier in the Konoha camp. Ebizo feels more and more that this idea is feasible, and he has begun to think about how to achieve his goal. Your Excellency Li Feng, who is the important person to you? Ebizo started the first step of his own thoughts. Family and friends. Family and friends. Wait a minute, family. Ebizo was dumbfounded. Didn't it mean that Uchiha Li Feng was an orphan? Where does his family come from? Is this guy trying to make fun of me again? Thinking of being tricked by Li Feng twice before, Ebizo couldn't help but be wary. Again and 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 again. Although it's not good to say it, Mr. Li Feng, I remember that your parents have left long ago. Although it was a bit unethical to say this, Ebizo still said it in order to extract information. Yi Kang and the unknown Sand Shinobi also felt that it was inappropriate for Ebizo to say such words at this time. My family, the ones who are sincere to me are my family. The family Li Feng refers to is actually Tsunade and Nawaki. Over the years, they have been like their own sisters and brothers. Stop talking about this, let's enjoy the night view of Konoha. The next day, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Li Feng were sitting in the conference room waiting. In addition to these two, there are Danzo, Mitokado Homura and Udatane Kaharu. Danzo sat to the right of Sarutobi Hiruzen with a slumped face, glancing at Li Feng from time to time. He couldn't understand why the old guy Hiruzen brought Uchiha Li Feng Genin with him in such an important meeting with Sand Shinobi. Could it be that this old guy was deliberately disgusting himself? Although Mitokado Homura and Udatane Kaharu do not have as strong opinions as Danzo, they do not understand why Sarutobi Hiruzen wants Li Feng to also participate in the peace talks between the two villages. Not long after, Ebizo brought Yi Kang and the unknown Sand Shinobi to the conference room. Sorry to keep you waiting for so long. Ebizo apologized first. It's okay, messenger, please take a seat. Sarutobi Hiruzen motioned for Ebizo to sit down. So Ebizo sat on the seat opposite Sarutobi Hiruzen, with a few meters between them. Yi Kang and the unknown Sand Shinobi stood on both sides of Ebizo. They are not qualified to sit. After Ebizo sat down, his eyes focused on Li Feng. He was surprised that Li Feng would appear at this peace meeting. It seemed that third Hokage valued Li Feng very much. Messenger Ebizo, I think such an important negotiation should be conducted by you, third Hokage, in person, right? Danzo then turned to look at Ebizo and said in a deep voice. Hokage-sama is busy dealing with post-war matters and really doesn't have time to visit you in person. That should be your sister, Hokage advisor Chiyo, right? Danzo continued to suppress Ebizo, but Sarutobi Hiruzen did not stop him. But Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but curse in his heart. The Hokage consultant was leading the charge on the battlefield throughout World War II, while you, the Hokage consultant, stayed underground and played tricks with Laozi every day. My sister was seriously injured in the battle with the White Fang and is now recovering in the hospital. Ebizo remained calm. If his emotions were affected by Danzo at this time, the entire negotiation would fall into the rhythm of Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo. But behind him, Yi Gura and the unknown Sand Shinobi had ugly expressions. Of course they could tell that this old guy with bandages on his eyes was making things difficult for Lord Ebizo. Anyone can come, as long as they can represent the entire Sunagaku. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a smile. He and Danzo have always been like this, one is a good guy and the other is a bad guy. Please rest assured, Hokage-sama, Hokage-sama has left all negotiations to me. Well, let's not say much else. Let's get straight to the point. Li Feng, come and tell me the casualties in Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Li Feng. Lord Hokage, 13 of our Jonin died, 219 Chunin died, and 681 Genin died. More than 300 people were seriously injured and there is a possibility of permanently losing their combat capability. Li Feng told all the information compiled by Hitoki Tsukumo. Konoha had a total of about 2,000 troops on the Sand Shinobi battlefield, and about half of them died after the war. 300 others were injured so severely that they might not be able to continue being ninjas in the future. Lord Hokage, our Sunagaku's losses are not small. Ebizo was interrupted by Danzo halfway through his words. Ebizo messenger, you have to know that this war was started by you Sunagaku. You didn't mention it. And lost rights. Ebizo hesitated to speak. He did suffer heavy losses, but the war was initiated by Sand Shinobi after all. Danzo was right, he really didn't care now. If you, Sand Shinobi, hadn't taken this opportunity to step in and invade the territory of the Land of Fire, would you, Sand Shinobi, have suffered any losses? In the final analysis, you just brought it upon yourself. You must remember that what you initiated was an unjust and aggressive war. The responsibility for the war lies with you, Sand Shinobi. Danzo spoke plausibly and his momentum completely suppressed Ebizo. Okay Danzo, Ebizo messenger, let's talk about the contents of the armistice agreement. Sarutobi Hiruzen patted Danzo's arm, and then said to Ebizo with a smile. If Sand Shinobi wants to cease the war, then it will need to bear all the losses of Konoha, including the damage to the Fire Nation environment caused by the war between the two sides, and Sand Shinobi will also need to fund repairs. Sarutobi Hiruzen made a request. Ebizo messenger, I propose, do you have any objections to the request? Hokage-sama's request is very reasonable, and we, Sand Shinobi, accept it. This is not too much to ask for. Since Sand Shinobi started the war and lost it, it is normal to bear these demands. Okay, Konoha's losses include the death of ninjas, consumption of supplies, and pensions for the families of martyrs. These compensations add up to about 300 million taels. Ebizo frowned when he heard the number 300 million taels. Yi Kang and the unknown Sand Shinobi also took a breath. 300 million taels. They have never heard of so much money. Messenger Ebizo, this number is considered small. I even considered that Sand Shinobi is not rich enough, so I lowered it appropriately. Sarutobi Hiruzen still maintained a smile, but his smile looked very perceptive to Ebizo. Okay, Ebizo agreed, and Sand Shinobi could accept 300 million taels. In addition, Sand Shinobi needs to compensate 13,000 taels for environmental restoration funds. Master Hokage, isn't 13,000 taels too much? Ebizo frowned again. He knew that the funds to repair the environment would not be enough. HMPH, your one tail alone destroyed a forest in the Land of Fire, and the villages on the border were also destroyed. Counting the damage caused by the Jonin, 13,000 tails is even less. Danzo said coldly again. In the early stages of the war between Konoha and Sand Shinobi dropped one tail to join the battlefield, causing considerable damage. However, later on, the tailed beast became somewhat out of control. Third Kage was afraid that one-tail Shukaku would break free from Jinchuriki's shackles, so he chose to recall it. One-tail Jinchuriki, the Sand Shinobi battlefield that Li Feng joined only after that. Although Ebizo was aggrieved, he was also wronged. Facing the victorious Konoha, he could only agree to these conditions. In addition, Sunagakur needs to pay compensation of 100 million taels. Danzo pressed forward step by step. Don't refute. Do you think Konoha was wasting its time with you Sand Shinobi in vain? Okay, Sand Shinobi accepts these compensations. Ebizo agreed after being silent for a while. The third Kage had told him that as long as Konoha's request would not empty Sand Shinobi's treasury, he would try his best to agree. Sarutobi Hiruzen is not as pedantic as he will be in the future. If Sand Shinobi cannot meet Konoha's conditions, Third Kage is afraid that Sarutobi Hiruzen will attack Sunagakur. Not only that, one-tail Shukaku also has to be given to Konoha. A trace of greed flashed in Danzo's eyes. Impossible, Ebizo refused without hesitation. Without one tail, Sunagakur would lose the qualification to become one of the 5 major nations. Advisor Danzo, one tail is our bottom line. Ebizo secretly clenched his fists. Danzo is really a hyena that eats people but doesn't spit out bones, and he actually wants to take advantage of one tail. Danzo, enough is enough. Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke up at this time. Then our truce is concluded, Advisor Ebizo, and from now on Konoha and Sand Shinobi will continue the friendship between the two villages. After signing the peace agreement, Ebizo left Konoha with Hagura and the unknown Sand Shinobi, and returned to Sand Shinobi to report the amount of compensation to the third Kage. Li Feng also left the meeting room. He had seen the cooperation between Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo in this aspect today, and Ebizo was so suppressed that he was almost speechless. But Li Feng didn't think too much about this, he still had business to do. Carrying a backpack brought back from the battlefield, Li Feng stood in front of an apartment door. This is the address Hotake Tsukumo gave him. Li Feng stood in front of the door and hesitated for a long time. His hand stopped in midair and he didn't knock on the door for a long time. Knock knock knock. Li Feng sighed and knocked gently on the door. Who is it? After a while, the door opened and a woman holding a baby appeared in front of Li Feng. Hello, sister-in-law, I am Uchiha Li Feng, a teammate of Captain Moon Wolf. Li Feng bowed slightly to the woman very politely. Li Feng is 13 years old this year, and Yu Lang is about 25 years old. They are the same generation as Li Feng, so Li Feng thought about it for a long time before deciding to call her sister-in-law. It's teammate Yi, please come in. Yu Lang's wife smiled gently and quickly invited Li Feng into the house. After Li Feng entered the house, Yu Lang's wife put the baby on the stroller, then picked up the water glass to pour water for Li Feng. Sister-in-law, don't bother. I won't drink. Li Feng quickly stopped her. Okay. Seeing that Li Feng refused to drink, Yu Lang's wife did not force him. Li Feng, are you looking for me because of Yi? Yi told me before that he was going to the battlefield. How is he now? Yu Lang's wife asked anxiously. Knight, don't you know his real name? His code name in Anbu is Yu Lang, his real name is Mao Yu Yi, and my name is Mao Yu Ru. Mao Yu Ru explained patiently. Mao Yu. As soon as Li Feng heard these two words, the memory of his past life suddenly appeared in his mind. In his memory, there was a female Anbu named Mao Yu in the Anbu later, named Mao Yu Xian. He is also in love with Yu Guangfang, a sick man. Li Feng looked at the child in the stroller again, and he suddenly had a bold guess in his mind. Could this child be Mao Yu Xian? What's wrong? Mao Yu Ru saw Li Feng stunned, so she asked aloud. Ah, I'm sorry, but I remember hearing the surname Mao Yu before. Li Feng explained. That's it. By the way, you haven't answered my question yet. Mao Yu Ru stared at Li Feng with her big, watery eyes. Sister-in-law, please be mentally prepared for what I'm going to say next. When he said this, Li Feng's heart was beating wildly. After Mao Yuru heard Li Feng say these words, she immediately had a bad premonition. Captain Yulang died. Li Feng lowered his head after speaking. He didn't want to see Mao Yuru's sad expression. How could this happen? Mao Yuru's pupils lost focus and she collapsed on the sofa, tears streaming down the corners of her eyes uncontrollably. Although her husband is a ninja and a special Anbu member, she has long been prepared for such a day. But when the day came, she still felt that the world had turned gray. I'm sorry, sister-in-law. Li Feng suddenly stood up and bowed to Mao Yuru at a 90-degree angle. Captain Yulang sacrificed his life to save me. Li Feng forced himself to tell the truth. He was also ready to accept Mao Yuru's resentment and anger, which he owed Yulang. But what he didn't expect was that Mao Yuru didn't blame himself, but chuckled through tears. I have joined Anbu, but he still has this temper. Yuo Yuru stood up tremblingly, walked to a cabinet, and took out the wedding photos of the two of them. She looked at the happy couple in the photo and couldn't help but reach out to touch her husband in the photo. Her tears fell on the photo drop by drop. Li Feng felt heartbroken when he saw Mao Yuru like this. If Yulang hadn't saved him, then this would have been a happy family. Sister-in-law, everything is because of me. When Mao Yuru put the photo frame back on the cabinet, Li Feng said, whether you hit me or scold me, I will never complain. I will also bear the living expenses of you and your children from now on. No, I don't blame you. Mao Yuru held her forehead and waved her hand towards Li Feng. I know Yi's character best. Even if it were another person, he would save him without hesitation. I'm just sorry for this child. He lost his father at such a young age. Mao Yuru picked up the baby again. This was her only relative in the world. The baby seemed to sense the change in mother's mood and began to cry loudly. Sister-in-law, what's this child's name? Li Feng couldn't help but ask in a low voice. Mao Yu Xian, this is the name Yi gave her. Mentioning Yu Lang, also known as Mao Yu Yi, another smile appeared on Mao Yuru's tear-filled face. It's really Mao Yu Xian. Konoha is really small. Li Feng never expected that the characters who appeared in the original work would be encountered by him in this form now. Where is Yi's body? Mao Yuru wiped her tears and hugged Mao Yu Xian tighter. Li Feng didn't say anything, he just took off the backpack from his back and took out a scroll. Sister-in-law, Captain White Fang said that it is up to you to decide how to dispose of Captain Moon Wolf's body. Li Feng handed the scroll to Mao Yuru and said, no matter what my sister-in-law decides, I will be fully responsible for Captain Moon Wolf's funeral. Fee. Mao Yuru held Mao Yu Xian in one hand, and took the scroll containing Yu Lang's body with the other hand. She felt very uncomfortable when she looked at the scroll. Her husband, who held up the whole sky, was actually contained in a small scroll. By the way, sister-in-law, Captain Yulang told me to leave these two things in your hands. Li Feng knelt down again and took out Yulang's forehead protector and knife from his backpack. Mao Yuru wanted to take it, but her hands were empty. Sister-in-law, would you like me to give you a hug? Li Feng asked tentatively in a low voice. Okay, come and hug Xian. Mao Yuru paused for a moment, then slowly placed Mao Yu Xian in Li Feng's arms. Li Feng also handed the forehead protector and knife to Mao Yuru. What the two of them didn't expect was that Mao Yu Xian, who was still crying, stopped crying as soon as Li Feng hugged her and began to look curiously into Li Feng's eyes. It seems that Xian likes you quite a lot. Mao Yuru cried, looking down at the battle-scarred forehead protector and ninja sword. After watching for a while, Mao Yuru wiped away the tears from the corners of her eyes and murmured. Is this so? Yi, I understand what you mean. Li Feng, are you Jonin or Chunin? Mao Yuru suddenly asked Li Feng. I'm Genin. Although he didn't know why Mao Yuru suddenly asked this, Li Feng still answered truthfully. Can Genin carry out missions with Yoruichi? Uzukuro asked doubtfully. Although she is not a ninja, she also knows that as her husband is the captain of the Anbu squad, not just anyone can perform tasks with him. Generally, they are ninjas with special Jonin or above in Anbu, or other special Jonin or above. That's right. This is our first mission together because my Sharingan can play a big role in torture. The second mission was when Captain Moonwolf was ordered to lead a team to intercept Sand Shinobi's supplies, including Jonin, Chunin and Genin. Li Feng explained clearly to Mao Yuru. I thought you were Chunin or above. Uzukuro put Yulang's forehead protector and ninja sword on the table with some disappointment. Why do you say that, sister-in-law? Li Feng was now confused by Erzong monk. Before, Yoruichi had been struggling with whether to let Shi Yan become a ninja like him, or to live a normal life as an ordinary person. Azuki-Ru looked at the forehead protector stained with bloodline and spoke slowly, but until he left the village for the last time without making up his mind. Now he asks you to bring me the forehead protector and the knife, which will determine the path Shi Yan will take in the future. Just now I thought, if you feel guilty about Yi, teach Shi Yan to become an excellent ninja for Yi. After saying this, Yuo Yuru said no more. Leave it to me, sister-in-law. Although I am only a genin now, I have already killed several jonin. Sister-in-law, you don't have to worry about my strength. Li Feng agreed directly. Genin, kill jonin. Uzukuro's face was full of doubt. In her understanding, genin could only wait for death when facing jonin. How could he possibly kill more than one jonin? Sister-in-law, I am genin, just because I haven't taken the Chunin exam yet, but it is no exaggeration to say that I have surpassed jonin. Li Feng is by no means bragging, although relying on his own strength alone, some jonin Li Feng can beat it. But with the addition of Mangekyo, it can be said that even if cage level comes, Li Feng will be worthy. Really, sister-in-law, if you don't believe me, you can ask the people who came back from the Sand Shinobi battlefield. Come back. Mao Yuru's eyes became moist again, and she stared blankly at the scroll on the table. Li Feng, I really deserve to die. I'm sorry, sister-in-law, don't do this. Li Feng was at a loss and didn't know what to do. I'm fine. Mao Yuru raised her hand and rubbed her eyes. Then, I'll ask you to be Xian's teacher from now on. Mao Yuru followed the trend and bowed to Li Feng. This is what I should do. Li Feng quickly stopped Mao Yuru. Sister-in-law, I have to leave first. Here, Li Feng felt like there were ants crawling all over his body, and he quickly found an excuse to leave. Wait, Li Feng, don't worry about Yi's affairs. Just let him go quietly. Mao Yuru suddenly stopped Li Feng and gave instructions. That's fine. Li Feng stopped and nodded slightly. Go and do your business and leave me alone. Okay, sister-in-law, if you need any help, you must come to me. My home is. After telling Mao Yuru his address, Li Feng quickly left the scene. Mao Yuru's colorless eyes glanced at Li Feng's leaving figure and gently closed the door. When Li Feng got home, he immediately turned on the faucet and washed his face with cold water. Then he lay on the bed and stared at the ceiling blankly. It turns out that after someone dies for me, I will feel so uncomfortable and bear more pressure. So Li Feng made up his mind to become stronger as quickly as possible so that others would not die for him, so that Li Feng would not have to experience such a thing again. Moon Wolf is the first and the last. If this is the case, then you must practice harder. Chakra amount is an issue now. Currently, Li Feng's chakra amount is not much different from that of ordinary jonin. The development of the Chidori sword must also be accelerated. In Li Feng's opinion, the Chidori sword is more suitable for him than the Uchiha-style swordsmanship. Rasengan's advanced ninjutsu, the Rasenshuriken Li Feng, is not planned to be developed. Because he has the dark chakra, if Rasengan's normal chakra is replaced with the dark chakra, then the Rasengan will become the spiral chakra. Continue to develop a more powerful large spiral wheel on the basis of the spiral wheel, which is much more powerful than the spiral shuriken. Uzumaki Menma's large spiral wheel can destroy the entire Konoha, but no matter how much the spiral shuriken is developed, it cannot achieve this level. What troubles Li Feng the most now is actually his Mangekyo Sharingan. Continuously using dark chakra to nourish Mangekyo is too inefficient and cannot be used continuously. But if Li Feng wants to evolve into an eternal Mangekyo, he must fuse a pair of someone else's Mangekyo Sharingan into the stone statue. In this way, although Li Feng has no blood relationship with that person, the stone statue can still fuse the two pairs of Mangekyo Sharingan, thus allowing Li Feng to obtain eternal Mangekyo. But now Li Feng knows that the only person who has awakened Mangekyo is Uchiha Kagami. Although Uchiha Fugaku, Uchiha Shisui, Uchiha Obito, Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke will all awaken Mangekyo in the future. It will take a long time, and Li Feng doesn't want to wait that long. But for Uchiha Kagame's Mangekyo, Li Feng doesn't know whether it's in the hands of Sarutobi Hiruzen or Danzo. It's quite troublesome no matter who is in the hands of it. If it were in the hands of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Li Feng would not be able to obtain it by conventional means. Even if his military exploits were penultimate, he would not be able to ask Sarutobi Hiruzen to reward him with Uchiha Kagame's Mangekyo. After all, who told Li Feng that Uchiha Kagame's awakening Mangekyo? Using force, he doesn't have the strength now, and with Sarutobi Hiruzen's character, even if Li Feng has the strength to put the knife on his neck, he can't hand over Uchiha Kagame's Mangekyo to Li Feng. As for Danzo, Li Feng remembers that Danzo did not use Uchiha Kagame's Sharingan in the original work, but now Danzo's right eye is also wrapped in a bandage. Li Feng suspects that what Danzo is currently transplanted is Uchiha's Mangekyo. But if that's the case, where was the other Mangekyo hidden by Danzo? If it is in Danzo's hands, then Uchiha Kagame's other eye is definitely at the root, but where exactly it is, only Danzo knows this. But no matter where it is, Li Feng cannot get it. The matter of eternal Mangekyo still needs to be considered in the long run. After lying on the bed and staring at the ceiling for half an hour, Li Feng got up again, turned on Mangekyo, left a mark of Takamagahara at home, and ran out to practice. On the Rock Shinobi battlefield, in the headquarters, Yuhi Junhong and Jiraiya sat opposite each other. Both of them had heavy expressions. Jiraiya was covered in bandages, and he looked like a mummy. Yesterday they had another big battle with Rock Shinobi, and Konoha suffered far more casualties than Rock Shinobi. Just because Rock Shinobi dropped 5 tails on the battlefield, its lethality was beyond what ordinary ninjas could withstand. Jiraiya could only team up with Gamabunta to contain 5 tails, but even with Gamabunta, Jiraiya was still scalded by the steam of 5 tails. Bunta was also seriously injured and returned to Mount Myoboku to recuperate. In a short period of time, Gamabunta was unable to participate in the war. Without Gamabunta, Jiraiya's desire to fight against 5 tails is undoubtedly a fantasy. As for Yuhi Junhong, although he is the commander-in-chief of the Rock Shinobi battlefield, he is not good at using ninjutsu to fight, so he cannot fight against 5 tails. What he is better at is using illusions to kill the opponent's high-end combat power. Senior Red, has the request for help been sent back to Konoha? If we continue fighting Rock Shinobi like this, we will lose. Jiraiya touched the wounds on his body and asked in a deep voice. Hokage-sama should have received the request for help, but I think it's useless to bring more reinforcements. Tailed beasts cannot be defeated by numbers. Yuhi Junhong has a headache. Their 9 tails Jinchuriki cannot participate in the war. Facing the powerful 5 tails, he felt a deep sense of powerlessness. It would be great if there are reinforcements from the Uchiha clan. Although the 3 Tomo Sharingan cannot directly control the tailed beasts, it can still play some role. Yuhi Mahong hopes that Master Hokage can send some Uchiha ninjas to support the Rock Shinobi battlefield. Although the 3 Magatama cannot control the tailed beasts, it can still create opportunities for Jiraiya to attack 5 tails. Then Yuhi Mahong sighed again. Since the beginning of World War II, fewer and fewer Uchiha people have gone to the battlefield. It's not that the Uchiha people don't want to participate in the war, but they are all looking forward to fighting. However, the identity of the Konoha Guard locked most of the Uchiha tribesmen firmly in the village, and only a small number of Uchiha tribesmen were sent to the battlefield. On the Rock Shinobi battlefield, there is only 1 double Magatama and 2 single Magatama, which are of no use at all. Speaking of Uchiha, a boy with silver hair and red eyes suddenly appeared in Jiraiya's mind. Then Jiraiya smiled bitterly and shook his head. That guy Li Feng only has 2 Magatama, and he's still on the Sand Shinobi battlefield. It would be great if Tsukumo could come to the Rock Shinobi battlefield. Yuhi Makoto sighed. If that powerful man could appear here, then he must be able to deal with 5 tails, right? It's a pity that the commander-in-chief of the Sand Shinobi battlefield died in the hands of Chiyo some time ago. After taking over as commander-in-chief, it was difficult for Tsunade to gain an advantage in the hands of Chiyo and Ebizo. He could only let Tsukumo Senpai support Tsunade. Jiraiya shaked his head. They have not yet learned about Konoha's victory over Sand Shinobi. Speaking of which, your disciple is quite talented and smart enough to defeat a Jonin on his own. Yuhi Junhong put down the scroll in her hand and said to Jiraiya. Minato, that kid is indeed very good. Sooner or later he will become a strong man in his own right. Jiraiya couldn't help but feel a sense of pride when he mentioned Minato. Did he develop his chakra ball ninjutsu himself? I have never seen such a powerful Muji ninjutsu. Rasengan. No, that was developed by another of my disciples. Uchiha Li Feng. That's right, that kid is also a genius. No, he's a monster. Jiraiya couldn't understand how a teenager could develop 2A level ninjutsu in succession. Jiraiya, you really have gained 2 good disciples. Yuhi Junhong couldn't help but sigh. Yoshimaru, shall I go then? So, Uchiha Li Feng is much more talented than Namikaze Minato. In Yuhi Minato's view, Namikaze Minato is already a genius ninja that only happens once in a century. According to Jiraiya, how talented is Uchiha Li Feng? Although it feels like a dream to me, it is indeed the case. That kid is someone I watched grow up. Not to mention his talent, he is better than anyone else in terms of hard work. When other students were still playing children's games, he would use almost all of them. Use your free time to practice. But Minato has worked hard enough. It's a pity that he doesn't have the blood inheritance limit, otherwise his progress will be faster. While Jiraiya and Yuhi Shinobi were talking, a Konoha shinobi walked into the command camp and stood respectfully in front of the two. Lord True Red, Lord Jiraiya, a man outside the camp who calls himself Uchiha Li Feng is asking to see you. Li Feng. Jiraiya looked surprised. Isn't he at the Sand Shinobi battlefield? I'll see it in person. Jiraiya decided to go outside the camp in person to see if this Uchiha Li Feng was real or fake. Although it is probably impossible for the enemy to turn into Li Feng and deceive them, it is better to be careful in everything. I'm with you. Yuhi Junhong also stood up. He was worried about Jiraiya's injury. If it was really the enemy pretending to be Uchiha Li Feng, he would be able to subdue the opponent with illusions as quickly as possible. So, the two followed the ninja who reported the news to outside the camp and met Li Feng. Teacher Jiraiya, Li Feng just shouted when he was interrupted by Jiraiya, just stand there and don't move. Li Feng, he didn't know what happened to Jiraiya. Also, what's going on with Jiraiya's outfit? 'Cause second Tsuchikage no. Let me ask you, which is the most serious injury I've ever suffered? It was the time you peeked at Sister Tsunade taking a bath in the hot spring and broke several ribs. Li Feng blurted out. When Li Feng told the answer, Yuhi Junhong's eyes changed when she looked at Jiraiya. Half like watching pervert, half like watching warriors. Who doesn't know Tsunade's temper? Peeping at her taking a hot spring bath. Ahem. No, Senior Junhong, it's a misunderstanding. Jiraiya reacted and quickly waved to Yuhi Junhong. He suddenly regretted asking Li Feng this question. However, it was also verified that Li Feng was real and not faked by the enemy. Li Feng scratched his head. What kind of plane is Jiraiya doing? Okay, misunderstanding. Yuhi Junhong said perfunctorily. Jiraiya knew how cunning he was. He couldn't explain it away, so he looked at Li Feng again. I just asked you this question because I was afraid that the enemy would impersonate you and enter the camp. Now I have confirmed your identity. Jiraiya explained to Li Feng. That's it. Only then did Li Feng understand why Jiraiya wanted to humiliate himself just now. Chapter 51. After confirming Li Feng's identity, Li Feng was brought to the command camp by Jiraiya and Yuhi Junhong. After several days of crazy training, Li Feng was sent to the Rock Shinobi battlefield by Sarutobi Hiruzen. If you don't just fight at Sand Shinobi, why are you here? Jiraiya asked Li Feng as soon as he entered the command camp. Sand Shinobi has lost. I was sent by Lord Hokage to support Rock Shinobi on the battlefield. Sand Shinobi won the battle. Jiraiya and Yuhi Junhong were very surprised. In this way, the pressure on Konoha will be much less. Wait a minute, you said you were sent by the old man to support the Rock Shinobi battlefield. Jiraiya was stunned again. Instead of sending Hitachi Sakumo, send Li Feng. And it's just Li Feng. What role can Li Feng himself play? Yes, what's the matter? Is the old man suffering from senile dementia? We were all beaten to a pulp by Five Tails, so he sent you yourself. Jiraiya still didn't understand why there was only one reinforcement, Li Feng. Yuhi Mahong also sighed secretly. I said, Mr. Jiraiya, you look down on me too much, don't you? Of course Master Hokage knows that it's difficult for you to deal with 5 tails, so he sent me here. Is it possible that your Sharingan evolved into a 3 Magatama? Small. Li Feng shook his head. What's too small? The situation has become smaller. Teacher Jiraiya, Senior Junhong, look at what this is. Li Feng directly activated his Mangekyo. I%*N. When Jiraiya saw Li Feng's Sharingan with a special pattern, he was immediately incoherent. Yuhi Junhong also stood up with her eyes widened, her hands trembling with excitement. Mangekyo Sharingan, isn't this what they need most? Li Feng, are you the reincarnation of the Sage of 6 Paths? Since ancient times, only Uchiha Madara has awakened Mangekyo Sharingan, and you have also awakened. Jiraiya was once again shocked by his disciple. Of course, there are also Uchiha Izuna and Uchiha Kagami who have awakened Mangekyo, but of course Jiraiya and Yuhi Mahong will not know about these. The only people who know about Uchiha Kagami's awakening of Mangekyo are probably Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo, Mitokado Homura, Utatane Kaharu and other high-level Konoha officials. Akamaiki Kaifeng, who is also a disciple of Senju Tobarama, may not know either. As for those who knew about Uchiha Izuna's awakening of Mangekyo, they were all a small number of people from the Sengoku era, and they are all dead now. Jiraiya now suspects that Li Feng is the son of prophecy mentioned by Great Toad Sage. No, he must go to Mount Myoboku again when he has time to ask about the Great Toad Sage. Li Feng, you really provide help in times of need. A long-lost smile appeared on Shiri's red face. They have been suppressed by 5 tails for a while. Boil style coupled with tailed beast bomb caused numerous casualties to Konoha's ninjas. With Mangekyo Sharingan, Rock Shinobi can also have a taste of tailed beast bomb. You must know Uchiha Madara back then, but with Mangekyo Sharingan, 9 tails looked like a cat. If Rock Shinobi comes back, we'll make it impossible for them to come back this time. Jiraiya waved his fist in the air. By the way, Li Feng, how is Tsunade? Is he not injured? Jiraiya became concerned about Tsunade again. Tsunade-san is very good. We relied on the antidote she prepared on the Sand Shinobi battlefield. Since Tsukumo Senpai took over the battlefield, Sand Shinobi has become more and more helpless. Tsukumo is still strong. He must have his place as a candidate for 4th Hokage. Yuhi Mahong lamented Hatake Tsukumo's strength. He was the same generation as Hatake Tsukumo. Before Hatake Tsukumo joined Anbu, he often performed missions with him and saw how powerful Hatake Tsukumo was. When Li Feng heard Yuhi Junhong say this, he shuddered all over. Hatake Tsukumo was murdered because he was too strong and had too much influence. Can his own appearance change this outcome? Li Feng, you and Minato haven't seen each other for a long time, right? I'll call him over and you two can catch up on old times. Jiraiya suddenly said. No need, Mr. Jiraiya. Tell me where Minato is and I'll go find him myself. Okay, he should be practicing behind the camp now. After learning Minato's location, Li Feng went to the back of the camp to look for him. Sure enough, under a mound, a blonde figure was rubbing meatballs in his hands. Li Feng did not call Minato directly, but hid his aura and lurked quietly. At the same time, he slowly took out a kunai from his ninja bag. At this time, Minato was staring at the meatball in his hand, not noticing that someone was slowly approaching behind him. Suddenly, Minato saw a kunai placed around his neck, preventing him from making any move. Why did I meet the enemy behind the camp? Could it be that Rock Shinobi is coming again? At the same time, Minato's brain was working rapidly and he began to think of countermeasures. As long as you say Li Feng is your father, I will let you go. A familiar voice reached Minato's ears. Minato breathed a sigh of relief at first, and then his expression turned into one of surprise. He dispersed Rasengan's chakra and looked back. Li Feng also put away his kunai and put it back into his ninja bag. Li Feng, aren't you at the Sand Shinobi battlefield? Minato asked doubtfully. The war between Konoha and Sand Shinobi is over. I'm here to support you. Great, how many reinforcements have arrived? Just me. Minato. Li Feng knew that Minato would react this way. I awakened Mangekyo and can control the tailed beast. Li Feng explained helplessly. What is Mangekyo? Minato has not yet come into contact with this knowledge. Mangekyo is. Li Feng had no choice but to explain to Minato about Mangekyo Sharingan. That's great, Li Feng, you don't know, that tailed beast is too strong, Teacher Jiraiya can't deal with it at all. Minato couldn't help but stand up at the thought of Five Tails ravaging the battlefield. Don't worry, since I'm here, Five Tails can't make waves. Li Feng is very confident that the tailed beast is just a toy in the hands of Mangekyo Sharingan. Mangekyo is different from most other blood succession limits, such as Boil Style, Magnet Style, Ice Release, and Scorch Style. These blood succession limits only give the owner one more means of attack. But as long as the Uchiha tribe awakens Mangekyo, they will be much stronger than others. And the only blood successors that can suppress tailed beasts are Mangekyo and Wood Style. By the way, I brought you a gift. Li Feng took out a scroll from his ninja bag and kept throwing it into the air. What gift? Minato stared curiously at the scroll in Li Feng's hand. Call Daddy and I'll tell you. Minato heard this and punched Li Feng lightly on the shoulder with a smile. Okay, I won't tease you anymore, let's take a look. Li Feng handed the scroll to Minato. Minato opened the scroll with curiosity. The content inside made Minato dumbfounded on the spot. He looked at the scroll and then looked up at Li Feng. He pointed at the scroll and was speechless for a long time. Are you crazy because of epilepsy? No, Li Feng, did you go steal the Book of Sealing? Minato looked around to make sure there was no one, then approached Li Feng and asked quietly. What are you talking about? This is a reward from Master Hokage. The forbidden technique in the Book of Sealings is not suitable for me, so I chose the Flying Thunder God for you to practice. When Li Feng was about to come to the Rock Shinobi battlefield, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave Li Feng the handwritten version of the Flying Thunder God technique and asked him to bring it to Minato. Sarutobi Hiruzen feels that although the Flying Thunder God technique is extremely difficult to practice, it should not be a problem with Minato's talent. If Minato can learn the Flying Thunder God technique on the Rock Shinobi battlefield, then with Li Feng's Mangekyo and Minato's Flying Thunder God, Konoha can defeat Rock Shinobi faster. Why did Hokage-sama reward you? Minato was dumbfounded. What did Li Feng do? Can Hokage-sama reward him with the opportunity to choose ninjutsu from the sealed book? I made a small contribution on the Sand Shinobi battlefield, Li Feng said calmly. Minato looked down at the scroll. How could it be Shaogong? Li Feng has definitely become a lot stronger again and played a big role on the battlefield, so he was rewarded by Lord Hokage with the forbidden technique in the Book of Sealing. At the same time, his eyes were a little red. Unexpectedly, Li Feng did not choose to exchange for other rewards, but used this opportunity to exchange for the Flying Thunder God technique that he dreamed of. But Li Feng, this is too precious. Minato held the Flying Thunder God scroll, a little at a loss. Why are you so pretentious? You can just repay me later. Learn Flying Thunder God as soon as possible. Flying Thunder God paired with Rasengan is a big killer. Speaking of which, Takamagahara's effect is similar to that of Flying Thunder God. If the two cooperate, is it possible to produce unexpected effects? Okay, Minato nodded heavily. By the way Li Feng, I tried to use Wind Style Chakra to condense the Rasengan, and now I've succeeded. Minato put away the scroll and rolled another ball eagerly. Li Feng looked closely and saw that the color of the Rasengan in Minato's hand was no longer blue, but cyan. There seemed to be a small tornado in the small Rasengan. That's right, Rasengan can indeed add chakra with other attributes, and you can even add blood inheritance limits such as Lava Style, Boil Style, and Ice Release. Li Feng nodded. Minato is indeed a genius. He has already mastered Rasengan not long after he learned it. Extended Wind Style Rasengan. Li Feng, haven't you tried using Fire Style to release Rasengan? Minato raised his head again and asked Li Feng. That's not necessary. Besides Rasengan, I also have Chidori. Of course, Li Feng can also use the Spiral Wheel U, which is more powerful than any form of Rasengan. Except Tailed Beast Bomb Rasengan. Yes, Minato has also seen the power of Chidori, and it is indeed no weaker than Rasengan. Well, Minato started to squirm again. If you fart quickly, let it go. Jiraiya-sensei also seems to want to learn Rasengan. Minato then said. When he used Rasengan in front of Jiraiya before, Jiraiya couldn't move his eyes away and seemed to swallow his saliva. Although Jiraiya is their teacher, Rasengan was a ninjutsu taught to him by Li Feng after all, without Li Feng's consent, and even Jiraiya was embarrassed to teach it. Teach me, it doesn't matter. Li Feng said it didn't matter. Even without teaching, Jiraiya can observe the secrets of Rasengan, discover its principles and deduce them. In the original work, Jiraiya also used Rasengan in Ultimate, Big Ball Rasengan, Massive Rasengan, and the Fire Style Rasengan. That's good. Jiraiya can master Rasengan, and Minato is also very happy. While the two were talking, Jiraiya, covered in bandages, came from the camp. Li Feng, I give you a task. As soon as he arrived in front of the two of them, Jiraiya put his hand on Li Feng's shoulder. What task? I just came here, won't you let me take a rest? Li Feng was speechless. Doesn't this exploit employees? As soon as he arrived at the camp, he was asked to go on a mission, which made the capitalists cry. Hey, aren't you trying to gain an advantage quickly? Jiraiya smiled sarcastically. What mission? I need you to lead a surprise attack on the food supplies at the Rock Shinobi camp. Jiraiya said seriously. I'm leading the team. Teacher Jiraiya, are you kidding me? Li Feng pointed at himself, but he didn't expect Jiraiya to ask him to lead the team. I'm not kidding, I think you should be stronger than most people with Mangekyo Sharingan. Jiraiya's face was serious. Maybe he would be more serious if he didn't have that funny bandage on his face. But I'm a genin who just came over. Who can convince me? Although Li Feng is indeed capable, how could the people on the Rock Shinobi battlefield know that? They only know that Li Feng is a teenage brat. Senior Junhong and I have orders, and they have to obey even if they don't obey. On the battlefield, the commander's orders are God's. No matter how unwilling others are, they must obey Li Feng's orders. Besides, why don't you show your hand to them when the time comes? What I need is for them to cooperate with you to perform the task, not for you to cooperate with them. Only with you as the center can we achieve the best results. What Jiraiya said is correct. If Li Feng is asked to act according to the instructions of others, then Li Feng will become timid unless he does not obey the instructions. But even if Li Feng completed the task with his outstanding ability, he would still be subject to military punishment. Okay, Jiraiya had reached this point, so Li Feng had no choice but to agree. Minato, you also joined this operation and have a good experience. Jiraiya looked at Minato again. Okay, Mr. Jiraiya. Minato didn't hesitate at all. By the way, Mr. Jiraiya, what's the point of your outfit? Is it possible that you are paying homage to Rock Shinobi's second Tsuchikage? Li Feng tried his best to suppress laughter and pointed to the bandage on Jiraiya's body. He didn't know why, it was a normal bandage, but it looked funny wrapped around Jiraiya like this. Ahem, don't talk nonsense if you don't understand. It's hard to be wary of that guy from Five Tails Boyle style. Jiraiya became angry with embarrassment. Boyle style is different from other escape techniques. Boyle style ninjutsu is very diffuse, and ordinary defensive ninjutsu really can't stop it. Terumi Mei's Boyle style can even dissolve Sasuke's Susanoo. You should also pay attention to this, Li Feng. When the all-out war starts, you'd better control Five Tails immediately and don't let him use Boyle style. Clear, null, zoo, mysterious, white, green. In the forest, Li Feng, Minato and other Konoha shinobi are lurking here, waiting for nightfall. Jiraiya's idea is to let Li Feng lead a surprise attack force to destroy Rock Shinobi's food and grass, forcing Rock Shinobi to take the initiative to launch a full-scale war against Konoha. Because of the lack of food and grass, Rock Shinobi will most likely choose to attack with all his troops and defeat the Konoha forces in one fell swoop. At this time, Li Feng was able to use Mangekyo Sharingan to control Five Tails and severely damage Rock Shinobi. Behind Li Feng, the eyes of dozens of Konoha shinobi fans gathered on the teenage boy. Some of their eyes looked disdainful, while others looked curious. But they all felt that the decision-making of the command battalion was wrong. Such an important surprise attack was led by a kid who had not been on the battlefield for a long time. Even if any senior Jonin were to lead the team, they would have no complaints. But can this little white-haired kid really be able to shoulder such a heavy responsibility? Little Captain, I think we can start taking action, right? Most of the Rock Shinobi have already rested. One of the young men glanced at Li Feng and said in a frivolous tone. Wait a minute, These rock shinobi are nothing. We have to wait for the high-end combat forces including Five Tails Jinchuriki to rest. Li Feng shook his head. For Li Feng, it makes no difference no matter how many of these Chunin genin there are, Five Tails Jinchuriki and other elite jonin are the trouble. They have to wait until at least half of their high-end combat power has rested before they can start taking action. In order for rock shinobi to fully attack, Li Feng must not be able to show the ability to control tailed beasts in this operation, and even Susanoo is not suitable to use it. Otherwise, rock shinobi may be afraid. There are so many rock shinobi, it's impossible not one of them knows about Mangekyo. Just say Five Tails Jinchuriki Han, Five Tails definitely knows Mangekyo Sharingan, and if he uses Susanoo in front of Han now, Five Tails will definitely warn Han. Even the strongest Nine Tails can be easily controlled by Mangekyo, and it is certainly no exception. After Han understands the situation, the chance of a full-scale attack by rock shinobi will be greatly reduced, and even Five Tails Jinchuriki Han may directly withdraw to Iwagakure. The young man who spoke sneered secretly. If he didn't dare to go up, he didn't dare to go up. He also said that waiting for the high-end combat power to rest, and paying back these rock shinobi was nothing. You can really brag. Li Feng naturally knew that this guy had objections to him, but he didn't care. He had already been prepared to face this situation. Besides, he can kill this kind of guy with one finger. In the words of Uchiha Madara, which adult would get angry with a child? His age in his previous life plus his age after time travel were twice as old as this guy. Team. The young man still wanted to speak, but was directly interrupted by Li Feng. Shut up. Keep waiting. The young man suddenly shuddered. He didn't know why he was frightened by this kid's words. Li Feng's voice seemed to have some kind of magic power. Believe in Li Feng, he is very strong. Minato came to the young man and put his hand on the young man's shoulder. The young man turned his head and saw Minato, and then he crouched in place and stopped talking. He knew Minato. This blonde boy was much better than him on the battlefield. He even doubted whether this was his first time on the battlefield. Now that Minato said so, the young man could only keep his mouth shut no matter how dissatisfied he was. After an hour like this, Li Feng finally spoke again. Action. Minato, you led a group of people to quietly kill the rock shinobi patrolling outside the camp. You guys work together to launch the Nirvana technique, and the others will follow me and go straight to the rock shinobi granary. Li Feng raised his hand and rubbed his eyes before giving instructions to the team members. He had been driving the Sanmagatama to observe the situation at the rock shinobi camp, and now his eyes were a little dry. Then Minato took the lead and took a dozen people to disperse to deal with rock shinobi who was patrolling outside the camp, while Li Feng took the rest of the people to the back of the camp under the cover of darkness. Jiraiya has already sent people to investigate the location of the granary. It is on the left side behind the rock shinobi camp. There is also a guard tower behind the rock shinobi camp, but this is not a problem for Li Feng. I'm going to kill the sentry. After you guys wait for me to kill the sentry, you can immediately break into the camp and use the Nirvana technique on a large scale, and then the rest of you will attack the granary as quickly as possible. After Li Feng finished speaking, he disappeared into the night and quietly approached the sentry tower. Please follow the captain's instructions later. His decision is fine, a middle-aged man in charge of using the Nirvana abode technique said in a deep voice. At this time, he had begun to identify with the captain Li Feng. He was obviously just a teenager, but he had the demeanor of a leader. At this time, Li Feng had already touched the back of a big tree not far from the sentry tower. If he went further, he would be discovered by these sentries. So Li Feng directly activated Mangekyo, stuck his head out and marked Gao Tianyuan on several sentry guards. With a tear of blood left in the corner of his left eye, Li Feng pulled the Kusanagi sword out of its sheath. The next second, Li Feng appeared motionless behind one of the sentry guards and wiped the sentry guard's neck with his backhand knife. Another sentry guard had spotted Li Feng in the opposite sentry tower and was immediately ready to raise the alarm. But how could Li Feng let him get what he wanted? Before the body of the slain sentry guard fell, Li Feng appeared in front of the sentry guard again holding a knife. The sentry guard's first reaction was to shout to alert the people around him to the situation on the sentry tower. After all, the guy in front of me is from the Uchiha clan. Then Sharingan is a status symbol. Moreover, he was able to appear on the sentry tower without the two of them noticing, which shows that this person's strength far exceeds his own, and he has absolutely no chance of winning alone. So he wants to shout, no matter how strong this Uchiha guy is, can he be stronger than the rock shinobi in the entire camp? But before he could shout, he felt a chill on his neck, and then felt a warm current flowing on his neck. He opened his mouth but didn't make any sound, and then his body went limp and fell to the ground. The sentry towers where the other sentries were located were a little further away. These two sentries did not make any sound. It was dark and they did not see the situation here. Then Li Feng launched Gao Tianyuan again, and all the sentries in this area died under his sword. After Li Feng eliminated all the sentry guards, the illusion team led by a middle-aged man also jumped onto the sentry tower. Go ahead and release the Nirvana technique. Li Feng shook the bloodline from his sword and said without looking back. Okay. The middle-aged man looked at the body of the sentry guard on the sentry tower, and then disappeared from the sentry tower with a few people. Everyone was killed with one knife. You must know that the sentry guards started as chunin, and Li Feng was able to kill several chunin in one instant without using any ninjutsu. This shows that Li Feng's strength is definitely Jonin and above. After the illusion team successfully released the Nirvana technique, Li Feng landed on the ground, then began to form seals with his hands, and the summoning barrier also rose behind his back. Nine-faced Subaha, Null, Zu, Mysterious, White, Green. That's right, Li Feng successfully unlocked another nine-faced beast, Qinglong. From the golden snake to the green dragon, 5 nine-faced beasts emerged from the summoning barrier. The Konoha shinobi practitioners behind Li Feng were dumbfounded. Where had they seen this summoning technique before? My summoning beast is responsible for killing the awake rock shinobi around. You guys burn the granary with me. The 5 nine-faced beasts spread out in all directions, and Li Feng said to the team members behind him in a deep voice. There will definitely be rock shinobi who remain relatively awake under the Nirvana abode technique. The mission of the nine-faced beast is to kill all these awake rock shinobi. Now that feathers are falling from the sky, Nirvana technique has been successfully released. A large number of rock shinobi who were keeping vigil outside the tent all fell down, and they didn't even have time to make a sound. The remaining rock shinobi, who was still holding on without being unconscious, had been partially killed by Li Feng's nine-faced beast. His body was beaten to pieces by the golden snake, his head was crushed by the Suzaku, his internal organs were smashed by the black tortoise, he was torn apart by the white tiger, and he was crushed to death by the huge body of the azure dragon. Okay. Seeing how fierce Li Feng's nine-faced beast was, the team members quickly followed Li Feng and rushed to the granary. Use fire style and wind style, and then retreat as soon as the fire gets bigger. When the granary burns down, those resting Jonin will definitely wake up immediately, extinguish the flames and hunt down Li Feng and others. Li Feng was confident of escaping, but the players behind him were not so sure. If you're lucky, you might be able to escape alive, but if you're not lucky, you might stay at the rock shinobi camp forever. Clear. Fire style. The fire is extinguished. Li Feng quickly formed a seal, and the vast sea of fire instantly poured into the granary. This powerful fire style instantly impressed the team members. They now understood that this teenage boy was really capable. He is really qualified to be their captain. If the summoning beast just now could not prove Li Feng's own strength, then this fire style shocked them deeply. This level of fire style may not be possible for ordinary Jonin. Wind style. Great breakthrough. Fire style. Dragon fire technique. Wind style. Fire wind palm. The team members followed suit and released fire style and wind style ninjutsu respectively. Evacuate. Without any hesitation, Li Feng led his team members and ran towards the rock wall. At the same time, the 5 nine-faced beasts also disappeared. At this moment, several rock shinobi high-end combatants rushed over with people. They separated a few people to direct others to put out the fire, and then led several rock shinobi to chase Li Feng and others with murderous intent. Go quickly. Calling the illusion team, Li Feng and others climbed over the rock wall. Konoha shinobi, I will make your life worse than death. Rock shinobi roared from behind, and Li Feng and others accelerated their pace a little faster. Run outside. Minato and his team are waiting here. The patrolling rock shinobi has been eliminated, but Minato also lost several team members. Retreat to the camp as quickly as possible, I will come back later. Li Feng quickly said to Minato. I'm with you. Minato's eyes were very determined. He would not leave Li Feng here alone. Come on, wait until you learn Flying Thunder God before you say such things. Li Feng refused directly. Minato, who had not learned Flying Thunder God, was actually of little help to him. I can hold off a Jonin. Minato didn't give up yet. I can still kill Jonin, go away. Li Feng pushed Minato, then stopped where he was, and turned back to face Rock Shinobi who was chasing him. These Rock Shinobi Jonin are not slow. If you continue to chase them, you will catch up with them soon. Li Feng. Minato was very worried, knowing that there were more than 5 Jonin chasing him. Don't worry about me, I'm very strong. Li Feng looked back at Minato and said confidently, you just need to wait for me in the camp. At the same time, his Mangekyo Sharingan opened, leaving a bloody tear in his left eye. After this his Mangekyo quickly shut down again. Captain, if we fight together, the chances of winning are not small. One of the Jonin was also worried that Li Feng couldn't handle it on his own, so he said. Their reinforcements will arrive soon, and none of you will be able to leave by then. Hurry up and retreat now. I have a way to get rid of the pursuers. Seeing how determined Li Feng was, Jonin had no choice but to pull Minato and leave quickly with the others. And Li Feng slowly drew out the Kusanagi sword and prepared for battle. Kid, have your teammates abandoned you? Seeing Li Feng staying here, a Rock Shinobi stared at Li Feng and joked. They wanted to tear Li Feng, the Konoha Shinobi, into pieces at this moment. He actually dared to attack their food and grass in the middle of the night, and he succeeded. Keep chasing. I'll cut off this kid's head and hang it on the sentry tower. The Rock Shinobi who just spoke said to his companions, and then the other Rock Shinobi prepared to bypass Li Feng to chase Minato and others. Don't even think about leaving. Lightning-style Chidori sword. Li Feng shouted, the Kusanagi sword in his hand flashed with violent thunder and lightning, and slashed towards the nearest Rock Shinobi. After the crazy training in the past few days, he has mastered the Chidori sword. Earth-style rock fist technique. The Rock Shinobi quickly raised his right hand wrapped in rock to block Li Feng's Chidori sword. He took advantage of the impact and took a few steps back. Then he looked down at the rock on his right hand. The rock had serious cracks and seemed to be about to shatter in the next second. He's actually a lightning-style master. Rock Shinobi, who blocked Li Feng's Chidori sword, became serious. Earth-style was restrained by lightning-style. If he continues to despise the kid in front of him, he may die under this kid's lightning style. Other Rock Shinobi was also shocked by Li Feng's knife and couldn't help but stop. You go after the others, and the 3 of us will quickly deal with this kid. Rock Shinobi, who had previously mocked Li Feng, also knew that the kid in front of him was not easy to deal with. So it was decided that he, Rock Shinobi who was slashed by Li Feng, and another Rock Shinobi would deal with Li Feng together. Other Rock Shinobi nodded and quickly continued chasing in the direction Minato and others left. I told you, don't even think about leaving. Li Feng lowered his head and opened Mangekyo, put a Takamagahara mark on Rock Shinobi who was running at the front, and then appeared behind him in an instant. In less than a second, Li Feng completed the teleportation and knife-swinging movements, and directly chopped off the Rock Shinobi's head with one knife. Gao Tianyuan's speed was so ridiculous that he had no time to react. After killing this Rock Shinobi, Li Feng turned off Mangekyo and quietly wiped away the blood and tears on his cheeks. Oishi, how is that possible? He is Jonin. Everyone was stunned. Oishi was a real Jonin, and was he killed so easily by a kid? The body flicker technique can't be that fast. Could it be, is it a space-time ninjutsu? This kid knows time-space ninjutsu. Now no Rock Shinobi dares to continue chasing. No one knows whether this kid will suddenly appear behind him and stab him. Everyone is watching Li Feng closely to prevent Li Feng from appearing next to them. Then, under everyone's shocked eyes, Li Feng held the knife in one hand and formed seals with the other hand at an extremely fast speed. One-hand seal. They have never seen a ninja who can form seals with one hand. This kid can't stay. Rock Shinobi, who took the lead, had a drop of cold sweat on his forehead. A teenage kid who can use the powerful lightning style, possesses time and space ninjutsu, and can also form seals with one hand. Could it be that this kid set off the fire style that was raging in the camp before? He didn't rest at that time, but he was a little far away from the location of the granary. The moment he saw the flames, he quickly called a few teammates and rushed to the granary as quickly as possible. But he was still a step too late. The granary was already engulfed in flames, and he only saw the backs of the Konoha shinobi. Lightning-style Chidori spear. Li Feng raised his left hand and fired a lightning spear at one of the rock shinobi. That's right, Li Feng not only practiced the Chidori sword, he also performed all the ninjutsu of the Chidori series. However, he has not yet started to contact the most powerful Kilin. The rock shinobi quickly dodged aside, but was still shot through the shoulder by the Chidori spear. But if he hadn't dodged this shot, he would have been shot in the heart. Although the Chidori spear is extremely fast, it is much worse than Gao Tianyuan. As long as they are alert in advance, the probability of being shot to death by Li Feng is low. Come together. Rock shinobi, who took the lead, didn't believe it. With so many Jonin joining forces, why can't they take down this brat? Earth-style earthquake core. Rock shinobi took the lead and formed a seal with his hands, then rushed to Li Feng and slapped the ground. The square area centered on Li Feng sank immediately, sinking 10 meters in just 1 second. Kid, this will be your grave. Rock shinobi, the leader, led 2 teammates to jump down with a cruel smile on his face. He wanted to see this kid being crushed by rocks. Idiot, you're just digging your own grave. Li Feng sneered, then lowered his head and opened Mangekyo. In the blink of an eye, Li Feng appeared next to the body of rock shinobi who he had just killed. Rock shinobi, who took the lead, fell to the ground and was stunned when he saw Li Feng suddenly disappearing. Is it that time and space ninjutsu again? Rock shinobi, the leader, spat, and then prepared to jump to the ground with the help of the walls on both sides. Fire-style fire dragon flame bullet. But just when he jumped up, a ferocious fire dragon rushed down from above, and he could feel the suffocating heat wave. Water-style water dragon bomb technique. Fortunately, a companion below used a water dragon bomb to offset Li Feng's fire dragon bomb. However, the collision of water and fire caused a burst of water mist to rise above their heads, and they did not dare to act rashly because they were not aware of the situation above. I'd better use the seismic core again. Rock shinobi, who took the lead, landed on the ground and formed seals again to prepare to lift the ground up. As for Li Feng, he had just released the fire dragon flame bomb and was attacked by rock shinobi above the ground. Earth-style rock fist technique. The tall rock shinobi's fist was wrapped with rocks, and he punched Li Feng's head from the side. Lightning-style Chidori style. At this time, the speed of seal formation becomes particularly important. Just when the rock fist is about to fall on Li Feng's head, violent thunder and lightning flashes on his body, which bounces away rock shinobi's rock fist. Li Feng took a step forward and grabbed rock shinobi's collar, and a black chakra ball condensed in the palm of his right hand. Spiral wheel U. Li Feng pressed the spiral wheel U hard on rock shinobi's abdomen, and pushed rock shinobi out with the spiral wheel U. Boom. The rock shinobi behind did not pay attention to the black chakra ball in his abdomen, and quickly caught the rock shinobi who was pushed away by Li Feng. How are you? Quick, go away. This thing. Rock shinobi looked at the spiral chakra on his abdomen. Before he could finish speaking, the black chakra ball began to glow with white light, and then spread instantly. Boom. A powerful explosion engulfed both rock shinobi. When the black chakra dispersed, a large pit appeared on the ground, and in the pit were 2 unrecognizable corpses. 3. Li Feng killed 3 rock shinobi. The first big rock he killed has been determined to be Jonin. The 2 rock shinobi who died in the danger of Lispiran didn't know whether they were Chunin or Jonin. At this time, Li Feng heard some movement not far away, so he raised his head and looked in that direction. I saw hundreds of rock shinobi coming from the camp. The leader is a red figure wearing a hat. Li Feng knows that this is Five Tails Jinchuriki, Han. It's time to escape. Li Feng didn't want to expose Mangekyo here. When he used Takamagahara just now, rock shinobi's vision was blocked. So Li Feng lowered his head again, turned on Mangekyo and disappeared instantly. When Han rushed over with his people, he only saw 3 corpses and a few confused people. Where are the people from Konoha? Han grabbed the leader rock shinobi and asked. A kid stopped us. I just used the seismic core to come up, and he disappeared. He pushed Han's hands away. At this time, he was also furious. After hanging out on the battlefield for so long, he was killed by a kid. Set up a dish. Immortal, does that mean there are so many of you that you can't take down one imp? A Jonin beside Han frowned and asked. What do you know? That kid is very evil. Lightning style is strong, he knows time and space ninjutsu, and he can even form seals with one hand. Rock Shinobi, who took the lead in the pursuit, felt that he was almost out of his mind. You, and you, keep chasing me. Lousy must kill this brat today. Rock Shinobi, the leader, had bloodshot eyes. Okay, what are you still chasing? What if there is an ambush in Konoha? Do you plan to take them to death? Han stopped coldly. Tenaga, today you were responsible for keeping vigil, but the granary was attacked by Konoha people. The people who came to hunt Konoha were run away. Prepare to accept the punishment from Master Tsuchikage. Another rock shinobi also said. You're punished. If you have the ability, go deal with that brat. Taeyong's mood was very unstable, and he directly swore at the companion in front of him. The rock shinobi behind Taeyong also clenched their fists. They knew how difficult that Konoha brat was to deal with. Okay, we still have some food and grass saved. Let's go back to the camp first and wait for the commander-in-chief to make a decision. Seeing that the two were about to start a fight, Han quickly stopped them from talking. Taking the bodies of his companions who died outside the camp, Han returned to the camp with Taeyong and others. On the path in the forest, Minato and others were running quickly towards the Konoha camp. Now Minato decided to go back to the camp to find teacher Jiraiya and ask him to take someone with him to pick up Li Feng. It was true that I was too anxious at the time and didn't realize that my stay would not be of much use. I must learn the Flying Thunder God technique as soon as possible. Minato gritted his teeth thinking of the Flying Thunder God technique that Li Feng had exchanged for him. Suddenly, Minato felt a heavy blow on his back, and then he fell to the ground. Minato lay on the ground and didn't react for a moment. He raised his head in confusion, his face covered with dirt. Surrounded by his own people, how could he be suddenly attacked? Team leader. The sound of surprise from his companions was heard around him, and Minato felt the weight on his back disappear. Looking up, he saw Li Feng standing next to him, looking at him with an embarrassed face. Well, I'll give you a little reward. Li Feng didn't expect that he would teleport to Minato's neck and sit directly on Minato. When he looked back at Minato, he marked Minato with Takamagahara. It's just that Li Feng didn't choose the position of the mark carefully. Maybe he accidentally got the mark on his neck. Li Feng. When Minato saw Li Feng, he didn't care about the dirt on his face. He got up and hugged Li Feng. Hey, you're a fool, you've got dirt all over me. Li Feng laughed and cursed and pushed Minato away. Li Feng, how did you suddenly appear on, my head? Minato touched the back of his neck and asked Li Feng in confusion. He felt that Li Feng suddenly appeared here, much like the effect of Flying Thunder God technique. Is it possible that Li Feng has learned the Flying Thunder God technique? That's my Sharingan's ability. That's it. Minato breathed a sigh of relief. It would be outrageous if Li Feng had learned Flying Thunder God in such a short time. Forbidden technique. The reason why it is forbidden technique is not only because its effects are dangerous. Moreover, the difficulty of learning forbidden technique is several times that of ordinary ninjutsu. Captain, are you okay? Others gathered around and asked Li Feng with concern. I'm fine. Let's go back to the camp. Relying on Chidori Ryu, Li Feng was basically not injured. After walking for a while, Li Feng and others returned to the camp. How's it going, Li Feng? How was the mission accomplished? Jiraiya came up to Li Feng and asked. Rock Shinobi's granary has been swallowed up by our fire style. The exact damage is unclear. After setting the fire, I ran away with them. Yes, their food and fodder losses will definitely not be small. Your decision is right. Everyone's lives are the most important. Jiraiya patted Li Feng on the shoulder. Now Rock Shinobi must be unable to hold back and launch an all-out attack on us. Then it's time for you to perform, Li Feng. Jiraiya seemed to have seen Rock Shinobi's defeat. To be honest, if Rock Shinobi does not have 5 tails, or Konoha's 9 tails can play, then Jiraiya is completely confident that he can win without relying on Li Feng. After all, Konoha is a huge country, and its strength is no joke. But there is no way. Five Tails has caused a lot of headaches for Jiraiya and Yuhi Junhong. Now with Li Feng's Mangekyo, Jiraiya has nothing to fear. Unless the third Tsuchikage old guy goes to the battlefield in person. But if this is the case, old man Sarutobi will not sit idly by. Well, just leave it to me then. Li Feng also wanted to try and control the tailed beast. What about the casualties on our side? Jiraiya asked again. I didn't have time to count this, Minato. Come here. Li Feng scratched his head and then called Minato over. What's wrong, Li Feng? Minato walked over, then looked at Jiraiya. Teacher Jiraiya. Well, Minato, what are the casualties of our operation? Jiraiya also knew why Li Feng called Minato over, so he asked Minato this question again. We sacrificed 7 people, including 1 Jonin, 4 Chunin and 2 Genin. The situation at the time did not allow us to bring back their bodies. Minato said solemnly. The last thing he wanted to see was for his companion to die in front of his eyes. Is that so? I understand the situation at that time. I can only build a tomb for them when I go back. Of course, Jiraiya also knew that the risk factor of this mission was not low. It is already very good to be able to reduce the loss to such a low level. It's all up to Li Feng to stay and break up the rear, otherwise our losses may have doubled several times. Are you still here to break up the queen? Jiraiya looked at Li Feng again. Absolutely, otherwise how could they run? There are at least 5 Jonin chasing after them. Li Feng spread his hands. You faced so many Jonin alone and didn't get hurt at all. Jiraiya looked around Li Feng a few times and scratched his hair in confusion. Luckily, my recent lightning style training has been very effective, and I can restrain their earth style. Li Feng said expressionlessly. Jonin killed too many, and Li Feng became indifferent. Li Feng, who possesses Mangekyo, is no longer on the same level as ordinary Jonin. Did you take out some rock shinobi? Well, I killed 1 Jonin. I don't know if the other 2 are Jonin or Chunin. Li Feng thought for a while and said to Jiraiya. He was sure that the first person he killed was Jonin, because he heard his companions say with his own ears that this guy was a Jonin. Li Feng didn't know about the other 2. They didn't understand Li Feng's methods, and they were instantly killed by Li Feng with Spiral Wheel U. Li Feng didn't realize their strength. It's okay, kid, you'll probably catch up with me, teacher, in a while. Jiraiya exclaimed. At this time, he was a little envious of Li Feng's talent. If he had this talent, he would have already set foot on cage level and learned Sage Mode, right? When the time comes, Tsunade will be shocked and throw herself into his arms. Thinking about it, Jiraiya stared at Li Feng and smiled foolishly, saliva flowing from the corners of his mouth. Li Feng couldn't help but feel a chill when he saw Jiraiya like this. Hey, teacher Jiraiya, what are you thinking about? Li Feng suddenly wanted to give Jiraiya a big competition. Hearing Li Feng's voice, Jiraiya returned from fantasy to reality and touched the corner of his mouth. Ahem, it's nothing, Li Feng, work hard, maybe you are the child of prophecy. Jiraiya held Li Feng's shoulders and shook Li Feng gently a few times. What son of prophecy? Although he knew what Jiraiya was talking about, Li Feng still pretended to be stupid and asked. The son of prophecy is, forget it, I can't explain it clearly in a sentence or 2. You will know it later. Jiraiya felt that it was a bit troublesome to explain, but after thinking about it, he let it go. As soon as the genius got a little brighter, thousands of rock shinobi braved the heavy rain and headed towards the Konoha camp. Five Tails Jinchuriki Han rushed to the front with murderous intent in his eyes. Konoha dared to attack their food and grass at night, then Konoha would have to bear their endless anger. Originally Rock Shinobi planned to boil the frog in warm water and slowly wear down Konoha's combat power. In this way, Cloud Shinobi, who was originally in a stalemate with Konoha, may send troops to attack Konoha again after seeing Konoha's combat power slowly weakening. Rock Shinobi wanted to use the mantis to catch the cicada and the oriole behind, and when Konoha and Cloud Shinobi competed, they would send some of their troops to join in. But now Konoha has burned most of their food and grass, and it will take several days to wait for the village to provide food and grass, but the only food left in the camp can only last one more day. Therefore, Rock Shinobi cannot delay any longer and must attack with all his strength to capture the Konoha camp in one fell swoop to prevent Konoha from taking the opportunity to attack when they are hungry. It has only been 2 hours since Li Feng led his men to attack Rock Shinobi for food. Konoha would never have thought that Rock Shinobi would attack the Konoha camp so soon. You don't want to go up until then. I will transform into a tailed beast and clear out the people outside the camp. Then I will throw a tailed beast bomb into the Konoha camp. When the time comes, you and your people will rush in behind me and kill everyone on sight. Han said to the Jonin around him as he hurried on. Good. In such a war, Han has a lot of say, and he is loyal to Rock Shinobi and 3rd Tsuchikage Onoki, unlike Four Tails Jinchuriki Laozi who fights against Onoki all day long. Therefore, Han, who was a Jinchuriki, was directly appointed as the deputy commander by the 3rd Tsuchikage. They did not notice that in the darkness of the jungle, a man wearing a Konoha forehead protector wrote something on a scroll and then placed the scroll in the mouth of the ninja dog. The ninja dog immediately flew towards the Konoha camp. Go, very fast. 10 minutes later, a Jonin next to Han suddenly raised his hand and motioned for everyone to stop. What's wrong? Han turned around and asked. Something's wrong. Jonin frowned. There seemed to be chakra fluctuations around me. Although it was only weak for a moment, I still felt it. After Jonin finished speaking, all the Rock Shinobi around him became alert. We were discovered by Konoha spies. It's inevitable. After all, there are so many of us and the target is too big. Pay attention to the front. At this time, sensing Jonin suddenly shouted. Everyone looked forward and saw a young man with white hair and black clothes falling alone on the ground. Everyone was stunned for a moment. Why did a kid come out? Wait, could it be that this kid is the one who made Taeyang and the others suffer? Han was staring at the young man in front of him, but suddenly there was a roar behind him. It's this kid. He was the one who killed Dashi. Taeyang, the Rock Shinobi who took the lead in hunting down Li Feng and others, was pointing at Li Feng who was standing in front of everyone. His eyes were red. Kid, if you dare to show off your strength this time when there are so many of us, Laozi will be killed. Mogo was about to step forward, but was stopped by Han. How could Konoha let a kid here alone? There must be a scam, Han said in a deep voice. At the same time, Jonin began to sense his surroundings, but found nothing. It seemed that apart from them, the only other person around was the young man in front of him. At this time, Li Feng grinned and Mangekyo Sharingan opened. How did Han know that Li Feng owned Sharingan? By the time he saw Li Feng's Mangekyo Sharingan, it was already too late. In Han's mental world, Five Tails Kokuo was struggling crazily, his eyes constantly changing between normal eyes and Mangekyo Sharingan. He's from the Uchiha clan. Five Tails Kokuo roared, and his eyes completely turned into Mangekyo. The iron door closing Five Tails was also forced open by Li Feng using Mangekyo, and the seal was lifted. Han then lost control of his body and completely transformed into a tailed beast. He turned his head and stared at Rock Shinobi behind him with the Mangekyo Sharingan. What's going on? Why did Han transform into a tailed beast? That kid is from the Uchiha clan. I saw his Sharingan. Okay, we're not blind, but Five Tails' eyes are also Sharingan. How come I haven't seen this pattern before? I've never heard that a Sharingan riding a horse can control a tailed beast. Rock Shinobi were all frightened by this scene. They had always relied on Five Tails to fight, and of course they knew how terrifying Five Tails was. At this time, Five Tails faced them. How could they not be afraid? Five Tails was now completely facing Rock Shinobi, and Li Feng jumped up and landed on Five Tails' head. That's why you have tailed beasts, right? It's mine now. Li Feng controlled Five Tails, and his huge body rushed towards the Rock Shinobi. Where is the sealing ninja? Come and seal this beast. How can you seal this horse-riding thing? Facing the Five Tails charging straight at him, Rock Shinobi was instantly confused. But how can they be faster than Five Tails? In an instant, several unlucky Rock Shinobi were trampled to pieces by Five Tails. Tailed Beast Bomb. Li Feng controls Five Tails, and its mouth begins to condense yin and yang chakra, gradually forming a tailed beast bomb. Spread out. The tailed beast bomb is coming. Suddenly someone exclaimed, and everyone immediately dispersed around. But this time they brought everyone in the camp with them, and the people behind them didn't have time to disperse. So Li Feng directly chose to throw the tailed beast bomb at the rear of Rock Shinobi's army, causing a violent explosion in an instant. Boom! Hundreds of people were instantly swallowed up by the explosion generated by the tailed beast bomb, and screams continued to sound. Although some people were lucky to save their lives from the tailed beast bomb, some also had their arms or legs blown off. We must find a way. Commander Rock Shinobi gritted his teeth and stared at Li Feng on Five Tails' head. Although I don't have a specific idea, it's definitely a good idea to kill the Uchiha kid on Five Tails' head. Everyone, find a way to kill the kid who controls Five Tails. Commander Rock Shinobi shouted, and of course Li Feng heard it. Want to kill me? Li Feng sneered. Come on, let me see who is in such a hurry to die. As soon as Li Feng finished speaking, a Rock Shinobi jumped on the back of Five Tails and rushed towards Li Feng with a ninja sword. Just as Li Feng was about to take action, the Rock Shinobi suddenly flew out, and then a white figure stood in place. Ha 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 ha, I'm finally proud. Jiraiya laughed while wearing silver light armor, with a bandage wrapped under his light armor. At the same time, the Konoha army also came from behind, all with great momentum. The Five Tails that originally belonged to Rock Shinobi have now become their fighting force. What can Rock Shinobi do to fight them now? Earth-style mountain earth technique. The commander-in-chief clasped his hands together, then slapped them on the ground. Two small rock mountains instantly rose up on both sides of Five Tails, sandwiching Five Tails between the two mountains. Way! Five Tails raised its head and screamed a few times, and then began to use force to destroy the two hills. Go, kill all the Uchiha brats and Jiraiya. The commander shouted, leading a group of Jonin to jump towards Li Feng. The surrounding genin also quickly moved towards this side. Haha, are tailed beasts really so easy to suppress? Li Feng sneered and looked at the people approaching him quickly, but did not take any action. If Five Tails is really so easy to be trapped by the commander-in-chief's Shantu technique, will it make Yuhi Junhong and Jiraiya so worried? Boom! Just when a group of Jonin were about to reach Li Feng, the two hills trapping Five Tails suddenly collapsed, and Five Tails turned around and whipped them with Five Tails. Hey! Jiraiya didn't stand firm, slipped and fell off Five Tails' back. The Rock Shinobi were also whipped away by Five Tails' tails and hit the ground hard. Ahem, this beast is so difficult to handle. A Jonin got up and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Okay, hurry up and find a way to deal with this Uchiha kid. The commander stood up, ignoring the dirt on his body, and stared at Li Feng on Five Tails' head with murderous intent. Lord Mogo, what you said is simple. As soon as we get close to him, we will be attacked by this beast. How should we deal with it? Commander-in-Chief Mogo opened his mouth when he heard this, but said nothing. Indeed, with their power, it would be difficult to get past Five Tails and attack that Uchiha imp. Five Tails is currently controlled by the Uchiha kid. As long as the Uchiha kid reacts quickly, Five Tails will protect him to death. Lord Mogo, I'm fast, let me try. A Rock Shinobi walked up to everyone, holding a ninja sword in his hand. Mogo's eyes lit up when he saw the visitor. This person is the owner of the Swift-style blood succession limit, and he can indeed dodge Five Tails' clumsy attacks and get close to the Uchiha imp. Even though he is just a special Jonin, he is the only one in the team who has the Shuin release blood succession limit. Then let me contain Jiraiya. Don't let other Konoha guys interfere with Shuangha. After Mogo said that, he immediately set off to find Jiraiya. But, Shuangha, can you kill that brat? Taiyang asked at this time, his eyes always staring at Li Feng. I'm not sure, but that's all I can do. Shuangha shook his head and just held the knife in his hand tighter. Laozi is going with you. Laozi must chop off this brat's head today. Taiyang gritted his teeth and only had the idea of killing Li Feng in his mind. Okay, but can you get past Five Tails and get to that brat? You'll know after you try it. Taiyang already had an idea in his mind. Get out of the way. Five Tails is coming. There was an exclamation in the surroundings. At this time, Five Tails had already kicked away the stumbling rocks and rushed towards everyone. Shuangha, let me tell you in advance that I will use seismic core to send Five Tails underground. If that kid doesn't leave Five Tails, he can only stay underground. If he chooses to give up Five Tails and jump to the ground, then we don't need to consider Five Tails. Although the seismic core cannot trap Five Tails for too long, Taeyong can think of the best way at this time. Okay, move. He rushed towards Five Tails with his ninja sword in hand, so fast that afterimages appeared. Earth-style earthquake core. Taeyong slapped the ground, and the ground where Five Tails was located immediately sank rapidly. At the same time, his back was already covered with sweat. This seismic nuclear move changed the terrain quite a bit and consumed more than half of his chakra. It's this move again. Li Feng narrowed his eyes and jumped off Five Tails without hesitation and landed on the ground. Five Tails, which was sent underground by the seismic core, has become a burden for the time being. If it wants to come out, it can only continue to destroy the surrounding earth walls to create a place to stay, but this will take some time. Tailed Beast Bomb cannot be used either. If you release Tailed Beast Bomb on the ground here, Konoha will also be affected. Did you jump down? Then don't worry about Five Tails. Shuanghe grinned, rushed in front of Li Feng in an instant, and slashed Li Feng's neck with a knife. Want to fight with swords? Li Feng was not afraid. He pulled out the Kusanagi sword with his backhand and blocked Shuanghe's sword. Shuanghe's face froze. How could this kid be stronger than him? Is he a monster? Lightning-style Chidori sword. The corner of Li Feng's mouth raised. The Kusanagi sword was instantly enveloped in violent thunder and lightning, and then Li Feng kept swinging the sword towards Shuanghe. Dang, 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 dang. Shuanghe hurriedly parried and kept retreating. This Uchiha brat swings his sword so fast. Let me help you. Earth-style rock fist technique. Taeyong's voice sounded, and then his tall figure appeared on the side of Li Feng, raising his rock fist and roaring towards Li Feng's head. He decided not to cut off the Uchiha brat's head. He's going to punch this brat in the head. It's a bit difficult, so the only choice is Susanoo. Li Feng's eyes flashed, and the silver-white chakra instantly formed a skeleton on his body. Boom! Taeyong's rock fist hit Li Feng's Susanoo hard, and the powerful impact made Li Feng stumble a few steps to the left. If this punch really hits me, I will be broken into pieces as a hero. Li Feng stabilized his body and couldn't help but feel a little scared when he looked at Taeyong's rock fist. This rock fist technique is a bit stupid, but its power is truly terrifying. What the hell is this? Taeyong's eyes widened and he looked at Li Feng's silver-white skeleton in disbelief. He was full of confidence in this punch, but the frame was only dented a little, and it returned to its original shape in less than a second. Susanoo is really useful. Li Feng grinned, turned his head slightly to glance at Shuanghe, and shed a tear of blood from the corner of his left eye. Shuanghe, be careful, Taeyong exclaimed when he saw the blood and tears in the corners of Li Feng's eyes. Although he didn't see Sharingan when the Uchiha kid broke away before, he also saw bloodline in the corner of this kid's eyes. Now he concluded that this was some kind of ability of Sharingan. This little Uchiha relied on this ability to kill Oishi instantly. But as soon as Taeyong finished speaking, Li Feng appeared in front of Shuanghe and stabbed Shuanghe in the chest. Shuanghe's pupils shrank sharply, and he subconsciously activated Zundan to dodge to one side. PFF'd. But the Kusanagi sword in Li Feng's hand still stabbed his shoulder, and the inertia made him continue to fall to the side. Seeing that Li Feng had not stabbed Shuanghe's heart, he immediately turned the blade and slashed to the right. Shuanghe's right arm was cut off directly by Li Feng. Aha! Shuanghe fell to the ground, wailing in pain as he covered his broken arm with his other hand. Come for support. Kill this brat, Taeyong shouted, and immediately 3 Jonin gave up on killing Konoha shinobi and chose to come to help Taeyong. Earth-style Yellow Springs Marsh. One of the rock shinobi slapped the ground with both hands, and a large amount of soil rushed towards Li Feng. Li Feng wanted to jump to the side, but only raised one leg. He looked down and saw Shuanghe, covered in blood, grabbing Li Feng's other leg with his only remaining hand, a ferocious smile on his face. He will soon die from excessive blood loss, so why not do his best to help his teammates before he dies? In this way, Wangquan Marsh swallowed up Shuanghe who was lying on the ground, and also trapped Li Feng. Shuanghe, Laozi will dig you out later and bury you properly, Taeyong thought to himself. At this moment, the Susanoo on Li Feng suddenly disappeared, and he bent down and covered his eyes in pain. Mangekyo used it too frequently, and the little eye power the dark chakra had could not withstand his use. Sakumo-sensei and Sarutobi Hiruzen are right, they can't rely too much on Mangekyo's power. You've shown your flaws, kid. At this time, Taiyang was like a hungry wolf smelling the smell of blood, swinging his rock fist and rushed towards Li Feng. Silly X. Li Feng covered his eyes and raised his head, suddenly disappearing in front of Taiyang and others. You disappeared on horseback again. Taiyang's hand wrapped in rocks was supported in the river of earth, and he stood on his head with one hand and cursed. Then he stood up and stepped on his rock fist, his hand detached from the rock fist, and jumped out of the scope of the earth flow river. At this time, Minato was holding a kunai and fighting with a rock shinobi. Suddenly, Li Feng appeared above Minato and pushed Minato down. The kunai that originally stabbed Minato also came towards Li Feng's head. Li Feng quickly raised his Kusanagi sword, blocked Rock Shinobi's kunai with the sword blade, and then turned the blade and stabbed Rock Shinobi's throat. After killing this Rock Shinobi, Li Feng got up from Minato as if nothing had happened and looked up at the sky. Minato, the weather is good today. Minato got up from the ground without saying a word and patted the dirt on his body with both hands. The second time. This time I will overwhelm myself while fighting. How could anyone be so head-grabbing? I'm leaving first. Li Feng patted Minato on the shoulder, and then ran towards the previous location. Although excessive use of his Mangekyo caused side effects, Takamagahara, who had been marked, could still use it. Minato looked at Li Feng's back, thought for a while and chose to follow him. Just now, Minato was not far from where Li Feng fought Taiyang Shuanghe and others, so Li Feng returned here quickly. With his single right eye open, he rushed towards one of the rock shinobi. He has used Takamagahara many times since opening Mangekyo, but he has only used it once. So now he can no longer see clearly with his left eye, but his right eye can still see clearly. Lightning style Chidori. Li Feng's palms were beating with thunder and lightning, and there was a sound like the chirping of thousands of birds, and he flew towards the rock shinobi. It's this lightning style again. Rock shinobi cursed secretly, then formed seals with his hands. Earth style wall. An earth wall rose in front of rock shinobi, blocking him and Li Feng. Li Feng did not stop, but raised his right hand and stabbed Chidori on the earth wall. Boom! The earth wall suddenly collapsed within 2 seconds. Li Feng passed through the earth wall, but there was no shadow of rock shinobi in front of him. You kid who stepped on the horse, you still dare to come back, don't you? Taiyang's angry voice came, and Li Feng immediately felt a sharp fist wind. Wind style Rasengan. At this time, a blonde figure appeared behind Li Feng, and the cyan Rasengan in his hand collided with Taiyang's rock fist. Taiyang's rock fist shattered after a moment, and Taiyang quickly retreated. Li Feng, let me help you. Minato stood beside Li Feng, holding a kunai and staring at the rock shinobi in front of him. They are Jonin, can you do it? Li Feng nudged Minato with his elbow. Don't underestimate me. Li Feng, you are not the only one who has become stronger. Minato chuckled, not flinching because the other party was Jonin. It's just 2 brats, why are you so arrogant? Taiyang took a step forward, and the other Jonin also spread out, surrounding Li Feng and Minato. Uchiha kid, your Sharingan can't be used anymore, right? Taiyang looked at Li Feng's closed left eye and the 3 Magatama-shaped right eye, feeling that he was okay again, without that weird Sharingan. Lousy, look at you, why are you jumping around? You said I can't survive without Sharingan. Li Feng laughed angrily. Although the 2 Jonin he killed before relied on Takamagahara and the Chidori sword to kill them, he was confident that he could give them a try without using Takamagahara and only relying on the lightning style. Besides, he also has one. Oh no, it's 5 useless trump cards. What, am I right? Come on, kill these 2 brats, and then cooperate with the sealing ninja to find a chance to seal 5 tails. After Taiyang finished speaking, everyone rushed towards Li Feng Minato and Li Feng Minato from different directions. Li Feng and Minato looked at each other, jumped up at the same time, and used each other's souls to dodge in different directions. Taiyang and others were not slow to respond. They split into 2 groups and continued to pursue Li Feng and Minato. It's really troublesome. Lightning style Chidori. Li Feng turned around, holding the Chidori in his hand, and rushed towards Taiyang who was chasing at the front. Lightning style again. But kid, Lousy doesn't only know earth style. When Taiyang saw the Chidori in Li Feng's hand, he didn't choose to dodge, but rushed towards him. Wind Style Fire Wind Palm. Wind Clay. Although Gale Palm is only AC level ninjutsu, due to restraint and Taeyong's Wind Style ninjutsu only has one Gale Palm, he put all his energy in practicing Wind Style into Gale Palm. Zizizi. Li Feng's Chidori and Taeyong's Gale Palm collided, and Taeyong's Gale Palm actually had the upper hand. Humph, kid, I told you, without Sharingan, you are nothing. Taeyong showed a ferocious smile. He finally had the chance to kill this kid. Haha, lightning style. Li Feng didn't react at all, but sneered. Dark Chidori. The Chidori in Li Feng's hand suddenly turned black, instantly overshadowing Taeyong's Gale Palm. Under Taeyong's horrified eyes, Li Feng's dark Chidori tore his entire right arm into pieces, and then inserted it into his chest without any hindrance. Puff! Taeyong spat out blood, and as Li Feng took out his hand, his body fell heavily to the ground. Taeyong, a generation of strong-mouthed king plus incompetent and furious player, has fallen. Taeyong, why did this kid's lightning style suddenly turn black and become more powerful? What the hell? The rock shinobi who were chasing Taeyong stopped looking at Taeyong's body. This kid suddenly did such a trick, which made them a little confused. If the lightning style released at the beginning was black, they wouldn't be surprised. After all, some lightning style ninjutsu are black thunder and lightning. But this kid's lightning style suddenly changed color midway, and its power was greatly increased. This makes them unable to understand. Be extremely careful. This kid is too weird. Rock Shinobi, who was closest to Taeyong's body, said to his companions. Naturally, other people also knew that this kid's methods were very strange, and they might have fallen into the hands of this kid without paying attention. Taeyong's death and Xuangh's death are the best proof. Earth-style Tundao Domu. One of the rock shinobi slapped the ground, and earth walls instantly rose around Li Feng, soon shrouding Li Feng in darkness. Li Feng knows this ninjutsu. The user places his hands on the earth wall outside. Not only can the trapped person replenish chakra and restore the earth wall when the trapped person destroys the earth wall, but it can also absorb the trapped person's chakra. If an ordinary person is trapped by this ninjutsu, it will be really difficult to get back out. But, is he, Li Feng, an ordinary person? The dim left eye opened Mangekyo again, and Li Feng instantly disappeared surrounded by earth walls. Teleporting to a marked place will not consume pupil power. This kid disappeared again. Tu Lao Tangwu's caster cursed loudly and directly lifted Tu Lao Tangwu. Sure enough, there was no trace of Li Feng in it. Isn't this kid's Sharingan useless? Not sure. At this time, Minato, who was being chased, suddenly felt a cold feeling on his back, so he rushed to the side, and then Li Feng appeared above him. Snapped. Minato was once again sat on Li Feng's buttocks. He lay on the ground, somewhat doubtful about life. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. Li Feng got up from Minato and looked at Minato lying on the ground with some embarrassment. Minato got up from the ground without saying a word and patted the dirt on his body. He seems to be used to it. Rock Shinobi, who was chasing Minato, was also confused by the scene in front of him, and his speed slowed down a bit. Lightning style. Li Feng quickly formed a seal with one hand and raised his right hand to the rock shinobi in front of him. Chidori Black Spear. The black Chidori spear instantly stabbed the leader rock shinobi's throat. Rock shinobi's pupils shrank sharply, and then he immediately dodged aside. But Li Feng also moved his arm immediately, and the Chidori spear slashed at rock shinobi like an extremely long thin sword. Just like Six Paths Madara's Sage Art Lan Dongwangya. PFF'd. Rock Shinobi didn't expect this, and his head was chopped off by Li Feng. Although the name doesn't sound very nice, it does work. Li Feng, I think it would be better to name your ninjutsu lightning style Pitch Black Chidori Aurora 2 style. Minato stood next to Li Feng and said abruptly. Li Feng, in fact, I still think the Chidori Black Gun is better. What a weird lightning style. Other rock shinobi stopped, a little afraid of Li Feng's lightning style. Li Feng stood in front of the rock shinobi, with a drop of cold sweat streaming down his forehead. He has consumed a lot of chakra, but fortunately there is still a lot of dark chakra in reserve. But you have to find a chance to catch a rock shinobi later and use the stone statue's ability to suck it in. At this time, several rock shinobi who had just been chasing Li Feng also rushed over, and 9 rock shinobi surrounded Li Feng and Minato. Kid, the current situation is 9 against 2, you are dead. A rock shinobi took a step forward and gave Li Feng a ferocious smile. 9 versus 2. Comparing the number of people, right? Li Feng said, turning to look at Minato. 9 faced Subaha. Summoning technique. A summoning barrier appeared behind Li Feng, and Minato bit his finger and slapped it on the ground, causing black lines to spread instantly. Then Hirotoma appeared at Minato's feet with his arms crossed. The Golden Snake, Suzaku, Xuanwu, White Tiger and Qinglong also emerged from the summoning barrier. Although there are still not as many people as you, your chances of winning don't seem to be good. Li Feng spread his hands and grinned, and 5 nine-faced beasts surrounded Li Feng. Now the situation on the field has become 8 versus 9, but Li Feng believes that all these rock shinobi will definitely die here. After all, he is still very confident in his 9-faced beast and Mount Myoboku's Guangzhe. It's Summoningmon. The rock shinobi's expressions darkened. The 5 summoning beasts summoned by this Uchiha kid look very weird, and the big toad at the feet of the blonde kid doesn't look easy to mess with either. Are you in danger, Minato? Tomohiro pulled out the double swords from his back, and then looked down at the rock shinobi. Yes, Hiro, there are a lot of people there, so I have to ask you for help. Minato knelt down and patted Toad Hiro's skin. Don't be afraid, I'm here. These words instantly made Minato feel extremely safe. Li Feng, when did you sign the summoning beast? Minato looked at the 9-faced beast surrounding Li Feng and asked in confusion. I met him by chance while performing a mission on the Sand Shinobi battlefield. Li Feng said casually. Looks very strong. Then let me show you their power. Li Feng raised his lips and pointed in the direction of rock shinobi, kill them. After saying that, Li Feng jumped on Suzaku's back, and then 5 nine-faced beasts rushed towards rock shinobi instantly. Guang, let's go too. Good. Tomohiro took Minato and jumped up in the direction of rock shinobi. Its huge body shrouded rock shinobi in shadow. Why do these 2 brats have Summoningmon? The rock shinobi were a little scared, but they could only go ahead. Previously, Jiraiya and another smoking giant toad were able to fight 5 tails together. Isn't this big cyan toad as strong as that one? Suzaku, catch me a rock shinobi. Li Feng gave the order to the Suzaku at his feet, and the Suzaku immediately chirped in response. The other 9-faced beasts also heard Li Feng's instructions and chose to assist Suzaku in capturing a rock shinobi alive. The white tiger pounced towards a rock shinobi. The rock shinobi did not react slowly and immediately rolled to the side. But this is the moment that Golden Snake has been waiting for. It rushed to the landing point of rock shinobi at extremely fast speed, raised its tail and whipped rock shinobi away at once. PFF'd. Ahem. Rock shinobi, who was flying in the air, spat out a mouthful of blood. He felt that he had received a violent impact, and his internal organs seemed to have ruptured. Suzaku leaned over and grabbed rock shinobi, his sharp nails piercing rock shinobi's arms. Ah! The pain made rock shinobi scream, and his arms could no longer use their strength. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.